All right, a few seconds to go here. We're getting July inflation data coming through here. Core inflation, 0.2%. Downside ever so slightly versus 0.3 expected there. 3.2 is the year-over-year number versus 3.3 expectation. The headline number, 2.9%, comes in a little bit downside as well. 3 even was expected. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've had a 2 handle on that headline number since this entire inflation mess started. So July inflation, again, 2.9% versus 3%, 0.2 versus 0.3 on the core inflation month over month number. So a little bit better than expected. 2 days in a row here, we're seeing inflation yesterday, PPI today. CPI, market reacting nicely here. Back to the upside we go. NASDAQ was basically flat to start things off, now heading higher to the tune of about 0.2%. Not a huge move, but back in positive territory here. This should definitely cement things for September coming up again as of yesterday. I mean, it was basically a lock for at least a quarter point, but we're starting to see even more indication of maybe even they go 50 basis points coming up in September. So, I mean, this is not a huge downside print, but hey, we'll take it. Again, if you're just joining a little late, 0.2% on the month-over-month number there for core inflation for July. The headline number, 2.9% versus 3 print that was expected there. Market rallying on that. I don't know. Do you remember? I think that is the first time we've had a 2 handle on inflation once again.
Feels like it's been years, Brendo, since we started moving up. Yeah, market consensus is now, guys, that the Federal Reserve will start shifting its focus to, from fighting inflation to supporting economic growth. Hence why Brendo was talking about a possible 50 basis points cut. If we don't get 50 basis points in September, chances are we get another 25 bips somewhere down the road. People are even pricing in 75 bips by the end of the year, possibly a 50 in September, another 25 down the road. We'll have to wait and see how this all works out.
Like what an absolute wild ride this year has been from where we started with there was an expectation of 7 at one point. We've had a quick reversal here, market downside now. Not a huge move, but about 0.2% there. Missing some data here on the Qs, obviously, but quick reversal there after a pop on that number. If anyone's joining late, again, better than expected on that July CPI print. There's the headline number. I'll zoom in there so you can see it. 2.9% versus 3% expected there. So negative 0.1 in the right direction. 0.2% versus 0.3 on the month over month number. So they're going to be a bigger than expected cut maybe coming up in September, as you said, now indicating better part of 75 basis points to come off before the end of the year. It's finally seeming like we're heading in the right direction. Neil with the day off today. Obi's with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's I'm doing good, Obi. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, it's kind of strange here that this is retracing a little bit here. I don't know. I thought that a little bit of a cooler number would be better. Comes in 2.9, as we said there, expected versus a 3 number. But yeah, CPI started this market going, and I was like, oh my God, Nvidia's running. And I said to myself, are we actually going to break 119 here? And maybe if we do, we should have a quick little look at it. I'm going to try to buy some Nvidia right now on this dip. We just pulled back into 117. But yeah, we always say don't fight the Fed, you know, and now it looks like we're going to get the answer that we need. And it's been priced in now. We just bumped it up to 50 points again. So yeah, I feel like we want to be long equities right now. You had a nice little dip off there in the NASDAQ over the last couple of days, obviously. Into last week, and then we've been really rallying. Yesterday was a great day. I'm just going to pull up the Q's daily chart right here. I mean, this has been we talked about this yesterday with Brian Shannon, and it's just like, what a rebound. At some point, how much of this is overdone? I mean, we just moved up there 30 points, $30 on the Q's, hitting the 200 period, and almost going from the 200 period, and on a good day today, you know, we get to the 50 period. You don't normally go from 200 period right up to the 50 period in 6 or 7 days. So what a wash all the way back in. And I think the NASDAQ, was it down 11% or something at its highs? 500. So $500 down to 430. So even a little more than that at that very low. But we did make that 10% correction for sure. And now you're trying to get back way, right? And so halfway back is around this 475 area. Let's see if we can get to that. That's the 50 period. Maybe we see some resistance there. But for right now, the market seems to want to go one way. Upside. This correction here is a little puzzling to me, but we'll wait to see what winds up happening. I wrote down on the sticky note that we want to try to play a trend here off CPI. So I think we want to stay with that. If the market wants to fade off, and let's not try to fight it too much, Obi. But I don't know. We're long Nvidia here. It's flat trade for now. I feel like we still want to be long the strong names in this environment.
Yeah, definitely. Again, as you know, I haven't been here for a couple of days, and I've been watching from the sidelines. And yeah, oh boy, yesterday was quite the bid. Kind of pushing back. I have the Nasdaq up here, kind of on watch. Now, something interesting to note here, Sean. Take a look at this. A little bit of a trend that we've been holding over the past couple of months, right? Since the beginning of the year, we broke that trend just a couple of days ago at the beginning of the month, and we're coming right back in. Now I have an anchored to the high, all-time highs there, the 21,000 test on the Nasdaq, right? We're coming back up into some of those areas, confluencing with this bit of a trend that we've been kind of holding above and extending above since October of last year. So interesting prices that we're visiting here at that 19.5, I think so. But yeah, the bid has been quite aggressive since that dip a couple of weeks ago. That Monday being absolutely wild.
I just don't know what's going to change.
Yeah.
Like if the Fed, I mean, unless people are still afraid of a recession, I guess, right? I mean, there's still that kind of a talk that's going to be happening here. There's been a lot of different market breadth. We've seen the IWM bounce back as well. Yeah. We've seen different stocks like the exchange.
Finally breaking out. People have been waiting for that IWM breakout for years.
I thought IWM was, more than years. I think it was. It was one of the laggards right there. And it came back into, what did it come in at 205 or something like that? Yeah, there it was right there. So, so it had already broken out, right? So it broke out through that 210 area. Huge move to the upside. We had a lot of people on the show talking about, hey, if interest rates, very sensitive, obviously the sector in the Russell 2000, if we're going to start cutting rates, then IWM, big beneficiary of this, right? And so today, you're seeing that again. And then as big cap started rallying, a lot of money flew into the Nvidias, into the Teslas, into the Apples of the world. We've seen some nice comebacks over there. Microsoft, Meta, all of them. Not so much in Google. Let's hopefully that can get going. Maybe now it's time for some of that money to switch over back into IWM, especially if we are getting some of those rate cuts as expected. So I'm waiting up here at 118, so just shy of 118 here. See if we could take 50 cents on a third of it, then try to take $1 on the rest and see what happens after that.
You're already in.
I'm in Nvidia, yeah.
Okay, true, yeah. All right.
I don't know. I felt like it dipped down in here. We'll just see what's going on. We could get out for flat. Nice. We've been in the money here and been out of the money. Okay. So light position to start with. Glad to have Obi here with us today as Neil gets his cast re-examined. So,
yes.
Hopefully he can get into that air cast is what he's looking for.
Ooh, what is that? That's like
able to walk. I think it's able to apply a little bit
air pressure. Really?
Okay. Yeah. So cool. It's kind of like it's not like a walking boot exactly, but it's a little bit less. Once it's set, bang! There we go. What's up, Neil? Okay. There's 50 cents right there on Nvidia. Nice. To start with, we're out of a third of it. Maybe we should just keep talking about Neil, and then the market will continue to go
a bit. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no. All right, Neil, my main guy. I really like this guy. Known him for 30-plus years, for
sure.
To
20.
There it is. Now we are almost going to be $1 in the money off this Nvidia bid there. And again, it is the number one thing I wanted to trade today, so we're in it. We're in it early. We really hit.
That's your top idea today?
Yeah, it was my top idea yesterday. We were long at 112 on it. Check the morning yesterday on Nvidia. We had that bid early off VWAP, and we're going to try to do it again here today. But there it goes.
All right.
It's 8:38. Brendan and Sharif are getting anxious up there on the desk. So let's throw it back. Wow, I like that little mauve polo over there, Sharif.
I don't know about you, but I was just checking here. It was March of 2021 was the last time we had a two handle on a CPI print.
Unreal.
March of 2021.
I just remember being locked in my house at that time.
It's been a long time. Wow, that's crazy. First time, 2.9%. Again, if anyone's just joining a little late, July CPI 2.9%. It's the first time we've had a two handle since March of 2021. Crazy. I wanted to mention Google here real quick. It was showing a little bit of relative weakness. Sean was mentioning there real quick. Nice bounce back to 163, coming off the Pixel 9 event yesterday. I mean, there wasn't really anything new, I don't think, that wasn't known already as far as the launch itself for the new products. There was a few AI-related headlines that I saw last night that I didn't know of, but I think they were out there. But nice bounce back to 163. There's more DOJ concerns here today for Google? How many times are we going to have this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, there's that side of it. I want to talk about the positive, though, because MKHD or Marquez Brownlee reviewed some of the new phones that they released yesterday, and he had a lot of good stuff to say. He said he thinks actually Google got it right with respect to the foldable. That's the one I'm all eyes and ears about. I want to see what they're going to do with that class. He said the first one wasn't as good. It wasn't as bright. This one's a little thinner, so I'm really excited to see what they do there. A lot of new products on that event. But yeah, a bit of a tough look here with respect to the Department of Justice. They're looking now at actually breaking up Google. That would be the first time they've done so since they broke up AT&T back in the 1980s. They're looking at divesting things like Android and Chrome, selling off parts of the business like AdWords and their advertising program. They also want to attack some of the exclusive contracts that they have, Brendan, like, for example, the deal with Apple for search, about $20 billion a year. It ultimately rests with the judge, though. It's not really up to the Department of Justice.
Not the first time that we've heard this story. I mean, do it. Break it up. YouTube would be bigger than Netflix. We've had that conversation.
Yes, we have.
Many times. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, as far as the Pixel 9 is concerned, I was a little bit shocked yesterday. I have the 8, so they emailed me right away after the Google emailed everyone, obviously not just me, with upgrade offers.
Oh.
And they're offering $300
For that?
for 1 year.
That's not fair.
Like, it's 1 year old,
No.
$300 on a.
You can sell that
on
for
an
more.
upgrade. I know.
Private market.
It was never that low in the past, but the Pro you get $500, I think. And just the normal Pixel 8 they're offering $300, which is down, I think, from year over year. But anyway, thoughts on Google, guys?
Google.
I got the same. I have a 12 Pro iPhone, so mine's old, and they were offering $450 or something for the 14. They were offering for that Google Pixel review there. Yeah, look, I mean, I agree. Is the United States the only country in the world where they say, hey, our companies are way too strong. It's time to break them up? You know, it's like, oh, you know what? We have Nvidia or we have a Meta. You know, there are way too many daily active users, you know, way too this and that. We better investigate them. We better shut down this business. We better try to limit them somehow because they're too good. They employ too many people. They pay too much tax. You know, we need to wrangle them in, Obi. Yeah. You know, you need to wrangle in these monster U.S. companies so that we can let other companies in the world take over because they're allowed to do whatever they want. You know, I think that's very important. We cannot have too much strength in the country.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's absolutely crazy. Only. No,
but I mean, what? Too strong? What's the matter?
One ticker can have only so much power.
I mean, no man can have all that power.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, I mean, I was gonna say one of us can
don't let him get into their zone.
Everybody wants to be Kanye.
You can't let him get into their zone.
Let me get in my zone. I'm already in the zone.
Whoa.
I'm already in.
Right.
It's already an 80-cent winner. We're already in there. The minute we're sitting down here.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Man. now we're getting it going. But no, look, I'm kind of with Brendan there. Just all jokes aside.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with this kind of talk as far as a shareholder is concerned. But it is it's going to have to get kicked down the road a little bit, right? You're going to kick the can down because Google's has not been doing very well. And we actually said this when I saw the note today. I immediately looked it up. Its PE is only 24, right? Apple's PE is 35 or 33 to 35. Meta's is 27 to 28. Microsoft's is 35. So as far as the PE is concerned, forget about Nvidia's and Netflix and Amazon's. Amazon's, I think, is 50, maybe. There goes Nvidia dollar. I feel like Google's the best, you know, it's most aggressively priced. It's been getting hit to the downside. There are a lot of levers that they can pull, whether or not you're going to go out and buy a flip phone or not. This is not a huge revenue generator for them or not. I like Apple better as a stock.
Right.
Here comes Randy right now. But yeah, I'm not afraid of Google. Google is one of my largest holdings in the account. I like the stock. I don't like some of this talk, and I like more coffee as well. But I mean, here we. Yes, oh yeah, we have Obi's here today.
Three beans, 135 milliliters. Thank you. A little bit of sugar and cream.
Wow, a little bit. You are so very
I have specifications for what. So if I put too much caffeine in the coffee, it shows up in the trading, like the erraticness. I don't know. If there's a threshold. If it's too much, yes. Thank you.
Another one.
There it is right here. Yeah, we'll have another coffee. But there goes Nvidia, man. It just went almost right back up into day's high off of buying that little dip right there. So let's just figure out what's going on here with Nvidia. I just put an offer up there at 80. So we didn't. I was closer to 119 near that high, and then we just basically stopped at 80. So I'm gonna sit there. If it wants to run me over in the next little bit, we'll take $1.30 on this trade and see if we can hold the last 1/3. This is, you and I go back and forth like this because you'll put on size, which I appreciate. It's always like you put on that.
Call it size. I gotta get bigger, man.
Well,
I gotta get
a
lot bigger, but yeah.
Whatever.
Yes.
More than used to. The idea would be that sometimes it's that first tranche, and you and I talk about this. It's like you put some shares on because it's the pre-market, so you're not trading as many shares. Yeah. And this might be the best
best price. Yeah, you might be the best price.
And it's like you go on and you're like, oh man, why didn't I put, for example, 200 shares instead of 100 shares, or 50 shares instead of 10 shares, or whatever you're using. So, anyways, all right, that's Nvidia. So I'm pretty positive about Google. Did you have any levels there? I mean, I'm not positive on the action on it, but I don't think this story is something that would get me to sell my shares.
Yeah, no, we've been pretty much since Monday's kind of gap down sell-off, even through this DOJ news. We've pretty much been, even though intraday we've gotten sold off aggressively, and even after hours yesterday, I guess a little bit, we're still trading within that range and still holding up quite well on Google here. So again, look at the higher time frame here. Have some anchors from priors. We're trading below some of those, but bigger picture, we're still within that trend, pretty much there. Prior earnings were within that range as well. So yeah, let's see. Google's holding up quite well, and again, the market's still holding up as well, even after again we talk about last week or the week prior's sell-off. A lot of these prices holding well. 19.1 on the NASDAQ, and Google still holds in and around that 163 mark as of right now. So it should be interesting. Let's see if we can bid back up towards some of these prior cover trade levels here. Into the 170s. But yeah, I'll definitely be watching. It's kind of building up higher lows with a bit of a flat top here on Google.
We'll touch on this a little bit more coming up in the rundown this morning, but I just saw Starbucks on a down print there. A little bit of volume came back in through, I guess, 95 broke. There was an upgrade this morning on the back of what happened yesterday, but again, we'll get into that a little bit more. Just noticing as well, these semiconductors, as Sean was mentioning, pretty impressive. I mean, Micron even up, I don't know why even, but I mean, 3% already here for MU. Intel this morning, if you missed it, selling their ARM stake, I guess to raise a little bit more cash. We talked about the cost cutting coming through last week, but semiconductors, just impressive.
I want to be a little glib here and say that ARM was the best thing that was going on in Intel's portfolio right now, but Neil's not here, so I guess I can say it. Foxconn reported as well today. Obviously, they don't trade on the North American market, or we don't trade them on the North American markets, but it is 6% increase in quarterly profit. This was kind of eye-watering to me as well. 40% of the AI server business in the world is owned by this company. They are really competing with people like Dell and SMCI. With respect to Nvidia, because we're talking about chips here, they're basically building the GB200, which is the dual Blackwell. So the Blackwell comes in two formats, a singular chip and then a dual chip. The GB is the dual chip. They're building that out, and they want to have it in volume production by early 2025. Brenda, we heard that they were delaying some of that.
Yeah, I was just double checking here. There is a note from Mizuho on Micron, but nothing else. It's pretty impressive, though. It just broke through 100. But
a lot of different chip names. Hey, Patrick's here. Adair's over at the screen. We got our coffees coming up now. Thank you for all that. People were talking about that little rant I had in the chat. That was nice. Okay, so Micron, did you have any thoughts about this earlier? I know I was probably just talking too much about the last couple trades, but
let's see. I got a couple
I think that the $100
levels we're
pretty
coming
interesting.
into.
What do you want to look at? You already have the levels already marked down over there.
I mean, not really significant support resistance levels, but again, I was kind of looking at this range we were making. Again, off of the gap down, we did break out of that range on Monday and really accelerated yesterday, bringing in some of that strength continuation in the pre-market today, pushing that 100 mark. So yeah, we've pretty much take a look at this. From the beginning of the month, we sell off about 27 points, and we've bid back up over 50% sitting at about 16 points right now, back above. So over a 50% retracement of that sell-off from the beginning of the month there on Micron. Again, chips with a little bit of a bid.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we had that huge dump. I mean, it was just such a big move off that 105. Like again, the whole world was falling down, but you still got to get above the 200 period moving average. So I feel like, you know, this 102, 101 area, which we're coming up to, is going to be something. We sort of topped out there. I don't like to look at like a one singular wick or anything like that. But as Obi said, there are some, you know, seems to be some kind of support down into this area. We'll just see if it wants to take out this $101, $102 area. Until we do that, then I feel like up 3% here. Good story. We're long Nvidia. I'd rather be long Nvidia, same price. As far as trading is wise, both around that $100 mark. I guess one's 120, one's $100. But yeah, Micron has a ways to go back up, right? I mean, that dropped from 160 down to 90. I mean, give that stock basically a 55% haircut all the way to the downside there. That's probably worth buying. Micron, and I don't know enough about DRAM to say that like it's going to be used forever and ever and ever, but as far as I know and everything I read, I mean, there's supply and demand, still more in demand than in supply. So we'll have to wait to see what's happening with Micron for now. It's kind of like ARM story, where you get these huge moves down just because they've had such good moves up. We've seen AMD, ARM, Micron, a lot of these names come to the downside. Just feel like there needs to be more here. I would rather invest in, honestly, just an equal weighted SMH, where you're getting a little bit of everything. You know, you're getting the king of the castle, plus you're getting all these other ones mixed up in there as well. So for me, SMH, as far as an investment, is the best tool if you're going to play AI right now, other than I'm sure a lot of us already own Nvidia. But get into SMH, and then you're not really picking, you know, the different picks and shovels. You're getting them all into one basket. So that's what I think about Micron. Good trading tool. We'll see it around $100.
Both companies from one of yesterday's biggest stories at the top of the upgrades list today. We have Starbucks and Chipotle. Starbucks getting an upgrade here from Deutsche Bank, and also got an upgrade as well from Evercore ISI. Meanwhile, we have Chipotle getting this Wedbush upgrade. Interestingly enough, Wedbush actually maintaining a neutral rating on Starbucks, so seemingly more bullish on Chipotle, which they gave this outperform rating to as of this morning. We have Illumina getting an upgrade from TD Cowen, and Hudbay being upgraded here by Jefferies Financial. The top of the downgrades list, Emerson Energy, recent earnings name here, Emerson Electric, getting this downgrade from JP Morgan Chase. We have Hershey getting a downgrade from Argus, Intuit getting a downgrade here from Morgan Stanley, and last but not least, L3 Harris being downgraded by RBC Capital Markets. Few interesting names on this list, guys.
Yeah, interesting names.
Did you see Starbucks yesterday?
I see Starbucks?
You mentioned.
I was watching it. I wasn't at my desk or anything for very long, but I did get a couple alerts on it, and I was like, in the pre-market, I was like, oh, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Definitely something going on. And then on the radar, I saw it off the open. I was like, all right, opening drive, I got to see. I was very curious. I'm like, I know I'm not at the desk, but I got to see how this one pans out. But take a look at that opening drive along, holding that pre-market trend, strength all the way in to what held as high of day until all the way at the end of the day, until the last 15 to 30 minutes there, where look at that selling right here. When you see candles like this, Sean, like what are you thinking? Like back to back. Look at those clean closes. That thing is being bought up into the close, right? That buying starts off at 321. Boom, 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 boom. Expanding volume with a close that pushes even further in the after hours. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, 97 incoming. I have prior resistance here at 98.50 and some intraday support at 92. So you can see that again off the open, consolidation off the open holds twos. And take a look at this. All day sideways, a little bit of a push into VWAP. Look at that clean test right off of the 92. That low right there is 91.98. So that 92 definitely going to be interesting. And yeah, the strong bid into the close should be interesting as well. I'm watching this 94 as well, 92 and 94, and then 98.50 if we can get up there as resistance for potential continuation. But yeah, you're right. It's a little bit of a move on a CEO change, man. Like, what's up with that?
I thought that was what's up with that as well. Yeah. Obviously, we are shareholders of Starbucks, so we're really happy with that move. But I wrote down the same thing as you, man. Starbucks right there, 97. We wrote that down on the sticky note today. We're looking to short 97. It just feels way overbought there, and I'm looking to fade it. So that's going to be one of the top trade ideas that I'm going to have today. It's Starbucks. It's right here. And honestly, I know it was just a high. Obi just showed it as well in the aftermarket yesterday. We had a huge run into the close. You know, a stock has done well. Yesterday, we actually were able to be fine with it while shorting. I talked to Obi about we finally got this 95 short. I asked him if he had looked at this earlier. We had discussed it. So that was a good trade back into VWAP. But you know, a stock is so super strong when its lowest print of the day happened right off the open. Like, you couldn't have gotten it any better than taking that opening print. So it just kept on going, finishes at the high, well over the high of the day there, coming in right there into the close right here, over by about 60 cents or so, into 95.80, and then another run of $1.20. So for me, if there's still some exuberance into this name, I definitely want to be short Starbucks today. Into this level 97, hold it up to that 98 maybe, but this is kind of where I want to start it. I don't want to start it earlier, so let's not get carried away on that. If we do dip down in, which I think is very, very possible, into 92, that would be a level for me to start looking at the long. But I feel like with this one, we'll take a long espresso, not a short. We'll have to wait and be very, very...
Are they a grande?
Grande? Now, grande would be more about the position sizing, I feel like. But we might not be on a grande. We might be a little tall today.
Okay.
We don't necessarily need to put on a lot of shares on this, but it is a day two play.
It is,
and we really like those. So, try to catch momentum in a name like Starbucks, and you should be rewarded with a grande yourself.
Oh. Ariana Grande?
If that's what you like.
Speaking of Starbucks and Elliott Management, we were talking about that yesterday. They were the first, I think, actually to come out with a statement on the CEO swap for Starbucks with a position, activist position in Starbucks. Another company they have a position in is Southwest Airlines, LUV, higher this morning on a gap to, 25.80. They've nominated a few individuals for the board of Southwest as well. So coming off a very, very quick W with Starbucks, now they're pointing at Southwest.
Yeah, Brendo, Southwest has been in some trouble. So domestic airlines haven't been doing as well as international. The international routes where the majority of the money is, and there seems to be now oversupply for the domestic routes, and so that's hurt Southwest's margins. We'll have to see how they perform, but Elliott trying to get a board member on there, and there's not being received well by Southwest, so it looks like it's going to turn into a bit of a nasty proxy fight. Nothing that they're really not used to, though.
I mean, this is what they do. Huge day, obviously, for them and for Starbucks yesterday on that move higher. As Sean was mentioning, we'll see if they can hold on to that Starbucks anyways. But nice gap here for Southwest this morning on that headline, it would appear. All right, let's get a check of the overall market here as we head towards 9 o'clock.
We did quite well yesterday, closing at 54.60. That's a hell of a recovery from the 56.69 that we closed out the day prior. So we blow through that 5,400 resistance level. We take out the 54.25 resistance level, or a half, excuse me. If we can use 54.5, this area, double bottom over here from earlier in the month, as support, then we're looking at 5,500. Let's use that as resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go down to the description of this video, hit the link to the watch list, enter your email address, and then you get your homework done for you every single day for free. Get that delivered right to your inbox, has everything you need to know on it. In the pre-market, absolutely free every day. Yep, in the description. Let's talk Google here, coming off what happened. I mean, it was after the close yesterday, big move down for Google on this DOJ note. The stock didn't really do anything on the Pixel 9 event throughout the afternoon. Yesterday, there wasn't really anything terribly exciting or anything we didn't know already as far as the Pixel 9 goes. I mean, a few AI-related notes that were kind of interesting. Gemini Live sounded kind of cool. Yeah, you can have just conversational, interactions with Gemini, which is going to be included on the next version of Android. But downside here this morning for Google.
Yeah, look, I kind of mentioned already at the top of the show the situation with the antitrust issue. What they're trying to do is now we're hearing for the first time, actually, that they actually want to break up the company. So that was what leaked overnight. Ultimately, the decision rests with the judge, but they're basically looking at selling off AdWords, divesting Android and Chrome, and basically selling off some of their advertising business. So we'll have to see how that all works out. But you were mentioning off camera, it could be a hell of an equity move for if they actually break these companies and they end up being public.
Yeah, I mean, this is, as we said, it's not the first time we've heard this argument, and probably won't be the last here, guys, for Google.
We talked a little bit about the value of Google right now. As far as the Mag 7 is concerned, it has the best PE. Its PE is 24, Apple's is 35, Meta's is 29, whatever other, Amazon's 40. I'm most nervous about ChatGPT and the fact that I don't even really search anything on Google anymore. Whether or not you choose Gemini or Chat or Perplexity or, it goes on and on. There's so many different ones, I think, at this point. What's that one? Claude? Anyways, whether or not the Chinese ones, whatever happens, Apple's going to have, there's a Meta AI. Meta AI apparently is supposed to be really good as well. So just throwing that out there. I just don't know how that's going to affect exactly their search business, and that is such a big business for them. Right. And then obviously licensing out Chrome on the Apple devices, Apple machines, on the iPhones and iPads and things like that. Yeah. I feel like that's, if that ever comes into question, that could be an issue as well. And then you get this possible breakup. But I think, like Brendan mentioned already, we've done the valuation, we've seen the numbers. YouTube by itself is a standalone company. Then if they have to break up their ad business, that's fine as well, right? We've seen, the trade desk, a big advertising place as well over there, ServiceNow, things like that can come through from Google if they have to divest, let alone the cloud business and everything like that. I don't think it would be the end of the world to have to do a spin-off or figure out whatever it is to satisfy the DOJ. So for me, not worried too much about those stories. I just don't like the fact that we're so low and we're not really getting going again. Some of these other stocks, Apple's at or near its highs. $10, $15 away. This has still ways to go. It reminds me of what sort of happened with Amazon, where Amazon bumped its head up to $200 or so, and then just started to get sold off. And then, of course, we had the story of Bezos, and then we also had just the overall pullback in the market, as we've discussed already. But this really hasn't recovered from that pullback. There's been many, many dip buy opportunities here, but it really hasn't resulted in anything. Anybody that's still short is still winning, and that's a problem. I would have rather it have broken through this 170 and get back up to test the 50-period moving average. There are traders that are going to be short Mag 7 in the NASDAQ, and I feel like this is the name right now that traders are short. There's too many negative things piling onto it. Their earnings was fine, obviously not received that well. We'll have to wait to see what happens with Google. I am nervous about this 155. It's a 200-period moving average, and I don't like to see stocks near there. So obviously something broken here with Google. Market is up. What are we doing right now in the market?
We're
market's up, and this is down 1%. I don't like the story. I think you have to stay clear. I'm not averaging into any more Google down here. Let's let it settle down just a bit as Nvidia is trying to get back up it's still $1 in the money, but it's trying to get back up to highs.
Yeah, for Google, I think I'm just watching this range that we mentioned before here since the beginning of the month, August 5th, a bit of a gap down on that Monday. We've been trading within that range, and take a look at this, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, building back up for a potential gap fill right there. We did kind of attempt that on Monday, pushing into that 165. So that 165 definitely going to be on watch, trading about roughly 2.5 points away from that, and we have been incrementally making higher lows. So that is something I am watching on Google. And if we can push a little bit higher and get back into some of these ranges, we also have some of these anchors from earnings. Take a look at this one right here. That is anchored from earnings right here, and we're trading below that. We attempted to push up a little bit higher there. Again, end of July, beginning of August, the last and first day, we attempted to push back above that earnings anchored there. We couldn't quite get there, gap down, and now we're kind of building back up into that 165. So it should be interesting if and when Google gets to that 165, what it can or cannot do I'll definitely be watching for that.
Kyle was asking about like if I'm saying I don't use Google. I never said I don't use Google. I don't.
Google search.
I don't.
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah,
you heard me
yeah.
as well. So yeah, I don't go on there and like if I'm sitting at home on my phone and I'm looking for like what are the best, even in London, for example, looking up restaurant I mean, we had a lot of restaurant recommendations, but just things like that.
Yeah.
I would ask ChatGPT.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like what are some top restaurants in whatever, Covent Garden or something like that. And it would just, again, it crowdsource, right? So it just kind of finds it for you. And then you have to trust the source it's getting it from.
Right.
Like you might want to use multiple things, but no, I don't pay for ChatGPT. No, I just have the
Okay.
the old version. Yeah, okay.
I like the
that's-
ChatGPT.
what Fabian's saying in our ear is, of course, is that when you're using some of these new search engines like a ChatGPT or something like that, if there's paid versions that'll give you more recent search results.
Yep.
So that's just what he's telling me. So sometimes Google can be good for that as well. But anyways, I just want to clarify that because we are streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. You gotta remember, Google makes most of their money from advertising.
I know.
Right?
That's why I'm nervous about it.
I mean, yeah, if they're losing their search, that takes a significant chunk out. But then again, Google Ads run other places as well. So it's,
Yeah, no. I mean, there's way smarter guys than me running that show. So, and it's made a lot of money for a lot of people. So we're pretty happy with it. All right, right now we are at Nvidia. I just want to bring that up to everyone's attention. I'm at 118.80 right now on Nvidia, and it just stopped at 118.75. So we're already $1.20 in the money here, but we're trying to get another piece out here, our second third out. So we took the first third out there for 50 cents. We're already in $1, but I was just trying to play off this 80 high that we keep on bouncing our head off of. And then after that, we'll see if we can hold the next piece into the open, see if we can get going. And then I wrote down on the sticky note, and we can talk about this because NVIDIA's coming up, is what about a 120 break? I mean, is that what's next for this thing? Obi, the biggest trade yesterday was right off the jump.
NVIDIA, right?
NVIDIA was great.
Yes.
Smashed Apple to 220.
Okay.
So it came real quickly there off the open. We banged it there, boomed up $1, and the rest was history. All right, let's go back over to the desk.
I'm going to be targeted.
Yeah. All right, Starbucks, back to the upside here. We had a break of 95.50. It's trying to bounce right now. Still holding on to a slight decline. 0.4. Monster day yesterday on that CEO swap with Chipotle. There's a long list, we'll put it mildly, long list of analyst moves this morning, a lot of them jumping on the bandwagon and liking this move, including Evercore.
Absolutely. Baird, Wedbush, you got Wedbush bumping up the price target to $80. You've got the likes of Baird really getting interesting here, $110 price target upgrade there with an outperform rating. Jim Cramer obviously chiming in on this one. Yesterday, he believes nickel can revitalize Starbucks and restore it to its former glory. We've heard a lot about how much they have to cut. They cut in terms of their pricing, Brendo, which has hurt margins. Hopefully they can kind of get around that.
There's a new one in our neighborhood on where I live, and it's packed.
Really?
Every single day.
The one by my house is always packed.
So, do they even have something to revitalize? I mean, it seems like they're still doing pretty well. I don't know.
Do you get the pumpkin spice latte?
I don't go to Starbucks.
Neither do I. I don't get that either.
Man, the place is so packed, man. The place is red. You go there? No. I don't go there. I went there yesterday.
Yeah. They have some nice locations.
No, it's so the problem is that I feel like they just got too big for what they're trying to do. And I think like sometimes you'll go into the stores and the next thing you know, it's the same thing with McDonald's, right? I mean, now McDonald's finally addressed that Uber Eats problem where they have separate windows for people to go pick up their orders because it was getting, at least my experience was, you go into the McDonald's and the next thing you know, there's about 30 or 40 Uber Eats drivers, that's an over-exaggeration, 3 or 4 Uber Eats drivers that are basically butting in line. Like they're getting up there, they're kind of like harassing the employees because they're on a time, and this is not against, they're on a time restriction. The more orders they can get through as an Uber Eats driver, the better it is for them. So I get like, give me the food, and that happens at all places, but especially at Starbucks. It gets real packed in there at that mobile experience, at that pickup window. And I just feel that a lot of that has taken away from the experience of Starbucks, people going there, sitting there, enjoying cups of coffee, enjoying free internet and all that kind of stuff. So I just wonder if the stores need to be configured, things like that. And so that has been listed as one of the top priorities as being efficient. And then also Brian Nickel had automated or trying to automate some things there at Chipotle. I wonder if they could figure out making these drinks a little bit quicker and potentially releasing. I think Starbucks can win this whole thing and get this all over with like a $2 cup of coffee. I feel like if they just came in with something where someone's going to go in there, it's a quick pour. Yeah. You know, it's a quick pour for them. Instead of paying $3.50 or whatever it is, just go a quick, either just quick shots of espresso or something like that. Yeah. Almost a separate area, you know, just for the quick. Yeah. You know, you want a barista-made drink, it's over here. Right. You want something like that, it's bang, bang. Because you go to McDonald's right now, especially around here, that large coffee is like $1.50. They just reduced all the prices. The small is $1, and then it goes that way. So I just feel that a lot of us that just want that splash or that quick hit or something, you might say, hey, for me to go into Starbucks, wait for this opportunity to get a coffee, it's not really that efficient.
Don't you think that may affect their like brand value because they're not trying to go for that $2 coffee though? That's not their brand.
That's the problem,
right?
That's the problem.
That you're saying they should switch up that
same
brand.
Store sales OB down 14%. Come at me, OB.
All right.
No, I'm just playing around. No, but that's the whole. I own the stock and I'm super happy. I think we're going to sell it. But no, the idea is that I just feel that this is what a new CEO brings.
Right.
Is this discussion?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then yesterday was followed by upgrades upon upgrades and no downgrades. So people are raising price targets, all of this stuff. Yeah. So apparently the reported pay package is $600 million for 5 years. So it kind of sounds like he's a Major League Baseball player or something. To work, yeah. Plus, obviously, there's going to be some kind of stock options. Don't quote me on all this. Is what I heard. And then the Starbucks themselves yesterday gained $24 billion in market cap. So it seems like a good trade so far. But as far as the trade for today, I'm just looking at that 97. I mean, as I talk about how much Starbucks could get itself righted, I just think that this is a huge move into that close. And I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if they expected more upgrades to come today. It didn't. It's still down. Well, there were, but you're down 0.5. So I just think that there could be a lot of traders that are maybe stuck up into here that bought yesterday in the afternoon. I don't know if it's a short squeeze. I don't know what happened there. But that to me is exciting stuff. And I want to be here to try to short this again. Oh, yeah. So that was in the aftermarket. I'm going to try to short this 97 right here. See about a pullback in off of that level. And then to try to buy this stock, I'm not convinced I want to buy it. Come on, Nvidia, you're 10 cents away, my guy. I would think that this 92 is a decent level to start to buy. So, yeah, man, good talk there, Obi. I like a cup of coffee and I like Starbucks, but this valuation seems to be a little extended. How's it going, Mark? Good. All right. Yeah. What's up with Starbucks in your opinion?
Again, I definitely agree with you. Kind of pushing up into some of these prior resistance areas. Year open in and around here, in and around these areas. We just went green on the 12. Take a look at the 12-month right there. We went green just yesterday. Off of what is the year open is 94.16, right? 94.16 is the year open price, and the candle just went a little red to green on that. So a little red to green on a higher time frame move on a strong catalyst. The price action is strong off of it, and we're getting those upgrades back to back. A little bit of a continuation potential there. So I am looking back at it to see where some of these prior levels of resistance may be. Again. January earnings from the beginning of the year, those highs sitting at 97.86. We're about a point or so away from prior day's highs right there. So I'm watching some of those 97 levels, 97, 86, 98. I like as well. A bit of a shelf here underneath that 98. So yeah, we'll be watching that. Supports all the way down at 88s here. Maybe some at 90s. I like that 92 half area as well. On Starbucks, let's see what it does. Do we revert that? Do we revert yesterday's strong move? Again, going on a 3-minute, you can see that we held some of these levels quite well going into the close. Strength off of the open, holding in the upper quartile of the total move. Reference price being 77.76 off of when the news hits there on Starbucks, and we are off to the races. Again, interesting close as well. I really like this expanding volume with this kind of peculiar candlestick action, they're getting bought up into the close, making higher highs into the close as well, past day highs, and trading in and around some of those levels again. Pre-market lows for today, just shy of this 94.60, 95s I like. Let's see what Starbucks does off of the open today. Definitely on watch, definitely one of the top names on my list today.
All right, let's talk about Nvidia. Back to the upside we go again today. I mean, 2-3 days in a row here. We're just straight higher, as we said, to kick things off this morning. Semiconductors across the board leading as far as the rally is concerned the past couple of days here. There's nothing significant on Nvidia this morning, more positive analyst moves, but decent amount of volume behind this move already coming off the number at 830.
Yeah, Brendo, it's up 17% in the last 4 days, adding $424 million in market cap. We got some more details today from Foxconn with respect to their AI server business, and you better believe that they're including the Nvidia GPUs in their AI servers. So 40% now of that company's business is based on AI servers, and they have a significant share of the market. I think that that's maybe why we're moving up in sympathy. Good look here.
Yeah. What do we do here, guys, for day number 3 to the upside for Nvidia?
In this stock, we've already sort of talked. I mean, that's crazy. How many times we just bounced off this 1875? This is where I'm sitting, and I'm not even putting an offer there for some reason. So stubborn not to get that order. But okay, like we said, this probably goes against me. You watch now. That was ridiculous. You know what? I'm going to put something at 1850 now. Now that I see this, because I won't be able to deal with this. What's the difference? Okay, so look, I like the stock again. I try to keep things as simple as possible. We talked about this with Brian Shannon on the show yesterday after hours, and it's just like understand that I'm just trying to play support and resistance plus momentum. There's really nothing else that I do. It sounds ridiculous, but I feel like when you're keeping it as simple as possible, we have traders in the chat that are like, you know, I'm a short only trader. I mean, we talked about Kyle Burdett. There's a few of us that are in here that are only looking one way. Some of us trade small cap stocks. Some of us trade large cap stocks. Come on, Nvidia. Go. I'm right here. I'm right here. That's crazy. I'm at 47s. Can we get a print or not? Right. That is, honestly, I'm at 47 right here. There it goes. $1. Here, let's do it. Let's hit it early. There it is. Okay. All right. So that's part of the scalping nature. Like, you know, normally I should have probably waited for that, but I wouldn't be able to keep seeing it. But look at that, 3 times Obi. Like if that retraced back down into here and I was stubborn because I was waiting for 3 extra cents, that would have been something else for me there. But okay, yesterday we hit Nvidia early, right? We really liked that stock. We talked about it on the sticky note yesterday, and I said pullbacks into VWAP early, we want that stock. So yesterday we had PPI come out and it ripped up. It kept going, and then eventually we fell back into the open. It was nervous hands for sure, but we had already written down 112 as an area that we liked yesterday. So when it fell back into that level, we took it. We also had some day highs or pre-market highs in there of 111.50 or so. So we did feel that we had some protection. We took it once, we were able to scalp it out. Then we waited for it to sort of baseline, and then it took off. We wound up getting out at 114.80 or something like that. We took about 250 on the last part of that trade. We did not have it all the way back up, but look at it, just take this 200 period moving average, which is this green line here, and just bounce off of it. So, I mean, it did that even in the pre-market today when we had CPI come out. Better than back in, then back up. So there, that line right now is at 117.50, which is where we're long. So I'm fine with buying dips into that level right there. And we actually wrote down on the sheet 115. And again, this is pre-CPI. This is pre this move upside. So yesterday's close is 116. I was thinking this 115 didn't bounce off of it there on the 200 period. I like that level. If we get down there and it's like, all right, the market's not completely falling, definitely loading that up. So give this stock a couple bucks one way or the other. And I was just talking with some guys as well. I think we could probably play this 120 break long. So let's just wait to see if that comes through. The momentum is undeniable in this stock. As Brendan mentioned, you're now looking at 3 straight positive, big positive days as well, starting to gap higher. And then if we break 120, we should look somewhere around 120, 150 there where we could stop. I think it doesn't stop until 121. So that's a play. And then we just keep going higher after that. I mean, Obi, their report is on the 28th. So right now you're about 10 or so trading days away from that coming out. You want to be short into Nvidia earnings? You know, so I could see another little bit of a dip happening here, especially if the market retraces and then short covering into the report. So I could see us fall off a little bit now if we do, but then get bought up into late next week as people wait for, I mean, I'll find out what exactly the date of it. It's the 28th, but the 28th is a Wednesday. Oh, so it's 2 weeks today. So 2 weeks tonight, we get the Nvidia report. So that should be crazy. And Nvidia was saved, man, a couple times. It went down to that 94 area last Monday, got saved by this rally back. It's well off its peak, man. Its peak is 140. You're back down to 120 right now. So, you know, not all is well, but it's still a healthy stock.
I mean, with this kind of strength, we'll be back at 140. If we continue, we'll be back at 140 in no time, just a few days there. We're already gapping up significantly over prior day's close. Prior day's close being at 116.14 and Nvidia poised to open up at 118.45, and you can see a bit of a trend up since again Monday, August 5th. There, bit of a consolidation high just shy of that 110, 108. We break out of it on Monday and really start accelerating Tuesday, and we're getting that continuation coming into today. Now, yeah, that 120 definitely on watch. Take a look at this. So prior Thursday, right there, that Thursday that happened before that gap down on Monday there with the whole carryover debacle or whatever happened. 120 is the high right there. 120, bit of a flat top high, and we know how significant that 120 has been on Nvidia over time. Look at the support. When we first came in pre-split, that 120 took over 3 hours to build into, and then it broke, right? So it's like there's definitely some significance with that 120, that 1200 pre-split. We hold it as support. We've held it as resistance. We're pushing up into it, only about 1.5 points away from it right now on a double gap up day through continuation while we're breaking out of some of this downtrend. So yeah, definitely going to be on watch today is Nvidia, that 120. Now something else I want to point out here on the 15-minute chart. Look at yesterday. Yesterday, very, very strong trend to the upside, but a clean little resistance to the uptrend there. So trend resistance. Let's see if we can push up into there. Those are definitely above those 120s. So that 120 is going to be interesting. I'm looking to potentially look for that continuation. Pre-market already dipped into this 116 area prior days after hours highs right there, and then ripped right back up, and now we're pushing back up. So, Sean, that long is looking quite strong right now.
I like it. Yeah, we're well on the money on this one. We're going to try to hold it as Nvidia's taking out days high. My wife just told me that my daughter's with some of her friends, and they go, "At least your dad is so cool. He has his own YouTube channel."
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Is it pretty cool?
It's pretty cool.
Is it? Or is it sad? I don't know what it is at this point, but that's what's happening. All right, back over to the desk.
Definitely cool. Yeah. Bitcoin just pulled back a little bit here. I was just noticing some of the ETFs, a bit of a down move back through 35 for IBIT. Coinbase looking very similar right now, but overall 2-3 days in a row here. To the upside for BTC again.
Yeah, net inflows yesterday, Brendo, about $39 million flew into the spot ETFs, with the most going to IBIT. Surprise there, $34.5 million. Ethereum also saw net inflows for the first time in a few days, $24.3 million, with the most going to ETHA, which is BlackRock's Ethereum ETF. Separately, we got information from Goldman Sachs about how much crypto they're holding. They're holding about $418 million, with the largest position being in IBIT, which is interesting because they didn't like crypto that long ago. So switching up here like many others.
Shocking. Bouncing off 200 here for Coinbase. That was that move I was mentioning there. Similar pullback here, guys, for some of the equities.
Hold on a second. There we go. Right. Yeah, so we were looking at that today. It is a little bit of a pullback right now. I came in this morning when Bitcoin was in and around that 61.8, 61.9 or so area. Now we're dropping back just a little bit here. There goes Nvidia, by the way. Let's go, man. That's props up for Nvidia as that's starting to get higher now, even before the imbalances. All right, so we can look at Mara. We had talked about that a little bit. I think I will want to look at it. The reason why I call up Coinbase is we had sort of talked about it getting above this $200 level. And it's starting to go again. And it did, right? So it was here. So I wanted to look at this. I actually probably could have had this on the sticky note today. we talked about it yesterday, breaking through this little gap down here, right, into through 200. You got to try to sort of clear this 205, I guess. That high is 204. I was looking at this level that goes all the way back to the beginning of the month here. It's not that even that long ago, but that's 206. So I think like a 206 break kind of unleashes it a little bit. This 200 period's been pretty good. That's 194, 195. Coinbase, to me, the spread gets a little bit exciting here. Wow, there's Nvidia breaking. Wow, now, okay.
Wow.
Okay. We might, all right, we are now $1 and $2 now in the money on this trade as there goes Nvidia to the upside. I was ho-humming over 5 cents. That's hilarious. There it goes now. There goes Nvidia. I actually have the stop in to take more shares through 120, but it won't trigger in the pre-market. So I guess we're going to be getting that very, very soon. And look, man, Katina Capital upgrading Nvidia. The last 3 days we were here, it was a buy every single day. And now today, there's 1 million on the pre-market buy right now with NVDA. A sell in Apple, potentially going the other way. No, not really. Wow, Apple taking out highs as well. Is anything stopping this market? Look at AMD, 143. But the real bell of the ball will be Nvidia, so watch out for that real quick. So, all right, the one thing I like about Mara is the short float opportunity and the chance to squeeze. We've seen this move before. When Bitcoin goes, Mara can go. Bitcoin hasn't been going, neither has Mara. So you're at a great level here. I feel like this is a buy for your long-term portfolios because you can get out relatively safely here at $14. The problem is, what's their plan of action? Mining has become less profitable. I don't know everything about how many Bitcoins they hold or what that whole story is. I'm just looking at this from a technical standpoint. And if we're going to trade off support and resistance, then I think this is a buy down here near 15. And I think you're not worried about it till it breaks 14. So I like Mara here today. Let's wait to see what it does off the open, up 2%. Watching out for crypto. Bitcoin right now at 60,800. There's a pullback for Nvidia. Our plan was never to get out of this until we saw what was going to happen. So there's a nice jump for Nvidia up to 120. Interesting that we basically stopped up there at 1960. So we'll put an offer there, get out of what we have left, then get ready to punch long if we do break through 120. But only a couple minutes left. Anything on Tesla quickly or on crypto?
Crypto, nothing too much. Kind of just want to note that Bitcoin is a little bit in the middle of this this prior consolidation here that tested those highs. 73.8 right there in March of 24. Some of these lows coming in just underneath that 60, but you can see we've been making incrementally lower lows and lower highs, kind of trading within this range on Bitcoin, even though it has had a little bit of volatility within that range. So not really part of my main watches on the day today, but it is at an interesting price on a bigger picture right now.
Hi. Everything on that pop there, up to 210 for Tesla, even included in that. We're just going through a couple of things here. There's a couple of positive analyst notes this morning for Tesla. I mean, this investigation getting wrapped up. I think this one is kind of interesting as well. I haven't even heard of this company, but WeRide, Chinese firm WeRide, getting approval to test driverless vehicles over in California. So maybe some competition for Elon.
Yeah, I wonder if that has to do with WeChat. We'll have to look at that. Yeah, but the NHTSA basically closing their investigation into Tesla's suspension issues. It had to do with 2015 to 2017 models of the Model X and the Model S. No issues there. They're saying found no evidence that the four-link failures prevented vehicle control and testing. So closing up that one, Brendo.
Yeah, a bit of a downtick here now once again, guys, but big day yesterday for Tesla also.
Thank you, Randy and Adara. We got some lemon,
thank you.
Ginger, honey.
Oh boy.
Tea. I said, I don't know if my throat will last here if we go, but tonight is just a coach's meeting. Yesterday, I was lucky enough to go see my daughter play 2 pickup games on the ice, and that was a lot of fun. But that's a little less stress. I just sit back and watch that one. All right, so I wrote down Tesla, Randy, that I like to buy here. It's broken above that 202, 203 area. We definitely like that stock. But look at this dip down that's happening right now in the market and into Tesla. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to get this down in around 204, an area that we had held yesterday. So, Tesla has the ability to do this, man. We were just at 211. Now you're back down to 207. That's $4. You give me $4 more, and we're buying this name down here at 204. So that's where I like Tesla today. It's on the sticky note as a good dip buy opportunity. Thank you, Sharif, as I took my sticky note over to the other side. Now we got two of them. Which one to follow? One's yesterday, one's today. Both have Nvidia as the number one idea. Obi, let's go. Only a couple more seconds left.
Go. Top ideas on the day. I do like that
Tesla
Nvidia
be,
and the Starbucks.
There
Tesla's
we go.
nice as well.
Not roll call. It's a countdown right now with only 10 seconds left. We don't do roll call later. We'll do roll call later. Tesla, yeah, I'm going to put a bid right now on Tesla down near that 204 as we get ready to open 2 and 1. Let's go. Adara, we are now open. We have Obi in the building with us today, so that's always a trip. So we'll see what happens here as we get ready to go and this market starts flying around. All right, Nvidia, dip buy opportunity numero uno as we fall down into VWAP. But again, let's not be fooled about this. Yesterday, we had a great trade in Nvidia, but you had to hold out for it. So we're into this trade at 9:30 and 15 seconds. Again, we have about 20 to 30% of the position that we'd like to have on Nvidia. We talked about it holding a 200 period moving average. So we got to give that a shot if it comes into 117.50. So that's an area for a next little reload here on Nvidia. 117.50 or so, Obi, is where we will get a few more shares if we're able to do that. Now we're in the money, 30 cents on Nvidia. Let's see how high this name can fly.
Yeah, so I'm watching the Starbucks and the Nvidia there. Nvidia with a little bit of a dip. Yes, I do like that. Let's see. I am going to be watching it at some lower levels there for it to potentially come in. But this 95 holding quite well on Starbucks as of right now. Those pre-market lows there. Again, some of those prior day after hour highs sitting at 96.81. We're pushing right back into 96. So Starbucks with a little bit of strength coming in. 18 halves holding on Nvidia for now. But take a look at the futures, man. The futures are pushing a little bit higher right off of the open there. Let's see if we can get that continuation coming in on Nvidia here. I see that Nvidia still holding that 18 half. So I am going to be looking around at some of these other tickers to see what it may be leading the way there. Softy pushing highs there. Amazon is holding, Google pushing highs as well. Again, Google 163, holding 163. So pre-market highs holding right now. Apple, though, trading back below that 220. It's actually breaking below yesterday's consolidation lows there. It consolidated all day yesterday after the first 15-minute candle sideways. I was talking to Sean. I was like, that 220 never came in after the first 15 minutes. And oh boy, it comes in right off of the open today. 220 is testing right now. Softy looking a little distinctly different, bidding up while the rest of these tickers kind of sell off.
I just bought some Apple here as well. So let's wait to see what's happening. Nvidia with a nice pullback here. The whole market's kind of pulling back a little bit now, Obi. So we might be a little early on some of what we're doing right now. But we're long Apple against this 220. We talked about that. We're long right now at we didn't. You just did. 219.75 is where we're at. We're long at 219.87 right now. So the world is not falling apart by any stretch of the imagination. But we are trying to get a little longer now on Apple as it's trying to bounce back up. I do have an offer at 220.10s if we can get back there. But you can see right now it's still like teleporting a little bit, down 30 cents, up 30 cents, trying to figure itself out. Obviously, just loosening up some of those early orders to figure that all out. Okay, we did get another reload on Nvidia, but look at this name coming way in right now is Nvidia. So again, we have about a third of the position that we wanted. We just got some out again on the top up. They're into 115. The levels I wrote down, I have too many sticky notes now. No, that was yesterday's 108. Here's the other one. We were looking at today for a 115 or so take here. There goes Apple, though. Apple, nice move up. Can we get a bid? Yes, we can. We just get those 10s. Let's go Apple right now. Put some offers out there as we're trading Apple and Apple and Nvidia. There it is, 50 cents on Apple as that's trying to go. Buy a little bit of Nvidia here. I don't really know why this one keeps going to the downside. It's a nice trade, though, on Apple. Apple's a good one there, Obi. Obi now 50 cents in the money on Apple. We're now 50 cents down on Nvidia with more shares. We have more shares on Nvidia because we keep getting out of Apple. Nice move for Apple, 220.50. Yeah, buddy, that's a good one there on AAPL, Obi. You indicated to me that one started to fall back down. Thank you for that. There goes Apple. It's a big trade for me. It was the number one trade for me yesterday. We just go right back into the pocket here today.
Yeah, so Starbucks kind of pulling back into that 94 area. Like I said, I want to be interested in it at a few different prices. 94 is definitely one of them. So a little bit of a pullback into that end-of-day consolidation. happening on Starbucks as of right now. 117 pullback on Nvidia. So Nvidia's pre-market lows at that 116. So we're trading 116s as of right now. So selling off quite aggressively right off of the open there. 117s back in on play on Nvidia. But yeah, take a look at the futures, man. Futures, we're pushing up higher. We went green to red, and we're getting aggressive back down into the 19.1s as Nvidia pulls back in as of right now. So I don't really have any fills as of right now, just kind of patiently waiting, waiting for some of this action to kind of print. Again, I took a couple days worth of a break there, Sean. So I'm kind of gonna try to ease back into it here as price action kind of presents itself. Beautiful long.
Yeah, man. To each their own.
On that Apple, that was solid.
And that's what I was going to say, to each their own. You talked about not drinking so much coffee because you want to stay focused. We came back jet lagged as hell and put up numbers as well. So everybody's got to know their own abilities. So I appreciate that for sure. $1.30 in the money Apple, Obi, right there as that. Look at this trade on Apple. I mean, you came right into that level that we hit yesterday. It was our number one stock yesterday. And guess what? Digits today. Here comes Nvidia right now. We're long down here at 117.60. I have an offer at 117.30s here just to get something out. That's kind of where we started the offering, the buying the first place. It hasn't worked, man. It's been weak today. They're hitting Nvidia today. So we're a little bit nervous, hands about that trade, only because Apple's working so well right now that it's like, what's going on with the chip names? AMD falling down. We looked at Micron earlier as well. And I have to keep my eye on Nvidia, honestly, as I have a lot in stake here with this name. But here it goes. Let's go. Get me off. Get me out of some of these shares here as we go back up to the upside. 117.20 coming through right now on Nvidia. Would love to get something out here. I'm offering some 30s just to relieve some pain right now, and by that, it's just 10%. So let's see if it goes. All right. Oh, a trade that just popped in here that I forgot to mention that we were waiting for. Palantir. We're now long Palantir. I wanted that break of 31. We're in that name right now. Palantir, we're long right now at 01s. So let's see if this one wants to continue its trend higher as they're, oh my God, Obi, I can't even, I'm on planet 9 right now. Is that even a planet? Apple right now is starting to go upside. We have 3 positions right now and we're starting to get a little overwhelmed with all of them. So Palantir 3101 right now. We didn't get out the best up there. It went to, I had to get some Apple out as that started to go up. And Nvidia 3104s right now for Palantir. Let me address this. Nvidia also started to scream upside there. Wow, our net kind of teleported and now it's teleporting back down. So let's wait to see what happens here now with Nvidia. It started to go, Obi, and that's what got me excited there. And then Palantir just pops in with a well-weighted position. So, all right, here we go. Palantir 31.
Yeah, it's selling coming in a little aggressive here on Starbucks there. So I did get involved at that 94 like I wanted to, but we're trading a little bit below it. End of day consolidation range in and around that 93.50 to 94s. As of right now, we're trading just shy of that 94. But yeah, that 117 on Nvidia, man, holding quite well as of right now. So 117 hold on Nvidia. Some of these other names I have on watch. Again, Nike was strong yesterday. Chipotle, of course, as well. Home Depot still going, continuation on Home Depot as well. They had earnings yesterday. Earnings day 2 is today. And new holdings as well. Earnings day 1 today with a little bit of a bid happening as of right now. But yeah, man, that bid coming in on the market quite aggressively. Apple's back at consolidation or opening range highs there. Amazon and Nvidia still to the downside. Alphabet as well. Softy's the only one that's really kind of holding strength. Attempting to push some fresh highs there. 94 still trading on Starbucks. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of the bid that we saw yesterday, or we just revert all the way back down into some of those levels. 92s being interesting, 94s as well here on Starbucks. Let's see what Starbucks will have for us today. I'm looking for a little bit of a pop, maybe some espresso type of price action here.
Oh, okay. Nothing wrong with that. We're getting espressoed up right now on Palantir because that broke through 31 and then didn't do much since. So we're able to get out of some. We've averaged it back into VWAP right now. But if we lose this 50 period, which is basically 70, then I feel like it's not the stock today, and that's fine. And we said this yesterday. We actually added Google yesterday late to the party, and it became a monster trade for us. And even on Palantir, it'll have these moves, and they're great when they happen. We talked about that yesterday with Neil, and we missed the 30 fill, and it went to like 30.20s or something like that, or 30.80s, 30.40s, and now it's at 30.80. And then you're able to get that long again. But see how it's resisting? It should be blasting up through here, and it's not doing that at all. All right. A great trading on, it's now $2 in the money, Apple. So, I mean, there it goes. Boom goes the dynamite. I mean, is this an NFT or what? Right here. Look at it. Look at it. Down here, we have the low of the day.
Wow,
Obi.
look at that.
We have the low of the day
bounce.
right there. And then a nice upside move up to 222. Solid right there. But I cannot, talk about winning trades without focusing on a trade that's not doing anything, and that's Nvidia. I mean, you got to manage all of your positions. Nvidia is trying to go. It feels like it doesn't want to. I have another offer here in the 40s and the 50s to get some more out, as I'm not really trusting this play as much as I wish I did. So right now, Nvidia, let's see if it wants to hold it. I mean, we'd love for this market to go. We're still hovering in and around VWAP right now, and you've got that nice Starbucks position there, and I have this bad Palantir position. So this will come out, man. It looks like we'll lose our 30 cents or so on Palantir. We're trying to make 30 cents on this trade or more, but it's not over yet, but it's getting close, man. Here it comes right through 70. Just don't want to hold this and be part of an epic move down, because obviously if this market retraces, Palantir's on its retracement legs to the downside as well. So we already have Nvidia to worry about. We are now we only have 10% left of Apple here. We've done really well to grab that out. And again, that was just 222. So they're just 221.50, 222, 221. They're just very, very even levels there to trade with. And there goes Palantir. We're out of 75% of that trade as it just dumped out there at 68. So bad trade there, hit the fail, and the flush down on PLTR. We tried it through 31. We just didn't want to miss it. It had stopped there before on the chart, so maybe we could have waited for 31.20s. But hey, thought it had a chance to go, and I don't really regret that trade. So that's what it is. Maybe you pull back into 50s and it stops. But for right now, Nvidia also, Obi, heading to the downside. Yeah. This market looking to get weaker ASAP. You're in Starbucks. I thought you had just short Starbucks, but you're in that.
No, I'm in the long here. A bit of a cheeky hold there, but again, looking for some of that strength from yesterday. This market tailwind is definitely not helping with the selling. And Nvidia all the way back down to 116s, man. So that high a day, 119.50, and then aggressive selling all the way down to 116s.
Oh, yeah.
Again, this is kind of the area where we closed in on yesterday, and we're kind of coming right back into yesterday's close here on Nvidia. So got to keep that on watch. A little bit of a tape action or aggressiveness happening here on both Nvidia and Starbucks. So yeah, as the market pushes right back into below 19,100, we're getting some aggressive action below the bid on a lot of these tickers here, it would seem, on the day. So yeah, let us know what you guys are trading. I'm curious to know, are you guys short anything off of the open there? Shorts off the open working quite well on some of these Mag 7 names as well. Apple, not so much, man. Apple's still holding that 221. Are you still holding that long there?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not really in it yet. So I'm sorry. I only have 10% left. True. Apple's going to be my number one stock, but it's a disaster everywhere else. As we just buy some more Nvidia, let's see if that gets going. We're actually into Tesla now as well. What's up, A?
Victoria's Secret pretty strong this morning here. VSCO up about almost 21% here, near highs of day. They announced their preliminary Q2 results, much higher here than analyst estimates and their own prior outlook. And they also announced that they've appointed Hillary Super as the company's new CEO. So new CEO and very strong Q2 preliminary results here, pushing VSCO to the upside, guys.
Yeah, I hear that, up 21% right now. Nice earnings report there for Victoria's Secret. Wow. All right, so we could have just got out of Tesla there and didn't. So yeah, this market is continuously flushing here today badly to the downside. So we'll give back what we made on Nvidia for sure, as it's down into 115 right now. This was the level we had talked about trying to buy. I guess we're not getting that long now on Nvidia, breaking through 120, as that was going to be an area. So this is basically trade two. We wanted Nvidia down at 115. That's what we had put down here. Obviously, being stuck long at 116.50 is not great, but this market, Obi, is continuously dragging downside right now. Nvidia really coming out, now down $2 and really coming in. Sometimes it's good to get involved early. Not today. There's the break lower on NVDA.
Yeah, 115s, man. That's absolutely wild.
114s right now.
114s and a half.
I might have to punch out of this if we break through 114.
The ES is getting crushed too.
The Nasdaq's not even down that bad, down 0.3 right now. But remember, we had CPI come through today. Yep. I was saying don't fight the Fed, but I guess today the Fed fights back a little bit and says we're not really too concerned about what the price of the stock market is. Rates be damned. This market is falling in pretty good right now. We're still long at 116.50 here on Nvidia. Not a good morning.
Yeah, so there is the first 15-minute candle print right here as we hit 9:45. And yeah, we are trading much, much lower here across the board. 114 halves, man. Oh boy. Let's see if we can get a bit of reversion there. Strong selling right off of the open there. Very, very aggressive to the downside on Starbucks here, as well as we break below that 94, coming into 93 halves right now. Consolidation lows from yesterday sitting at 92, 91, 98 was that low, and we're coming aggressively into some of those, or retracing some of those prices as of right now. That bid from yesterday, nowhere to be seen. Let's see what the Nasdaq does with this 19.1. We got crushed, and we fell right through it very aggressively, and then that 115 on Nvidia still holding as of right now. Apple still holding that 220s level there. Amazon catching a little bit of a bid. Interestingly enough, Amazon opens up much higher, dips down into prior day's highs, and now catching a little bit of a bid there. Nvidia retraced almost 50% of what it did from the pre-market yesterday into the pre-market today. And a strong first 15-minute candle going from 119 to 115 halves here on Nvidia today. So absolutely crazy there. No real sign of any sort of bids catching as of right now. Let's see if we take a little bit of a turn here. What are you guys trading? Mickey saying Nvidia go long 114s. Okay, yeah, we're taking a little bit of a bounce here. What's going on?
I mean, whatever. I don't want to be self-deprecating here or anything like that. But like we wrote down two levels on here. Okay, 120 and 115. So we should only be long 115-ish. I mean, we'll never get the best prices. I mean, we'll try. You know, I laugh at we'll never get the best price, and then I look down here and we have Apple at the best price. But the thing is like I'm just saying we should have already. We shouldn't be. Whatever. Let's just get it out right now. Okay, so now we're back to flat on Nvidia. So we're not getting it out. We just took another piece out right there, but we already took hits. So we've taken hits by getting some out right here. Our average price was 116.60. So was it 115.60? Until we get back up to there, we're not making any money on this trade. So fortunately for us, we put on some shares here at 115 because that's what we wanted to do. And then it came into that 114.50, and then that's when it was just like, all right, this is that chance right now, so let's try it. All right, I'm going to get at one more. Okay, I mean, let's go. We'll say diamond hands for it because we just made back double our day because we were down a whole crap ton right there. But basically our whole day is an L on Palantir. So Palantir came in. I wish we would have been able to still hold that. That's bouncing back as well. But our whole day is Palantir right now, which kind of sucks because we've loved that stock. And that's our day right now to the downside for Palantir. But you know what, man? I don't know why we're talking like this. We have a great trade on Tesla as well. So, I mean, Tesla, our average price was 203.70. It's at 204.50. So that's 80 cents in the money. We're taking that. We have a nice little trade here. Hopefully we can get going more on Nvidia. I mean, if this market wants to get back to the upside, great. But I am starting to get out a little bit more here. Take some more 70s on Nvidia. Let's now hold out. Let's be right now. If it goes back, let's go. Let's see if we get back into that 117 area and breathe a little bit. Apple, $1.70 in the money. That name's working. Tesla falling back in a little bit. We still have half of that position, and we still have half of our Nvidia position. So this day, although started off real nasty and still is, we've taken hits. Let's see if we can get back going there. I don't know what that flush was all about. Let's see if CPI can't play a little bit better. Wish I just would have stopped at Apple.
Yeah, that bounce on Nvidia, man. Are you checking that out? Like all the way back through that, back through that 115. Yeah, I know you're in it. I know you're
Dude,
in it.
I was
but I'm
down
just
more
saying.
money on this trade than the whole place combined.
Right, you gotta be able to swing big to make some.
No, you don't. I mean, some of
big
it's
bets,
stupid,
right?
to be honest with you. All right, what's up, Adara?
BURU trying to make new highs of days right now and a nice little volume pop. This is new Buru. This one trades on the Amex, the AM here, up about more than 50%. No news, but a decent amount of social media attention. It's run before, and it does have here a market cap of $1.5 million, float of about 250,000 shares, so very small float for BURU, guys.
All right, thank you, Adara. We will start to. I don't hear Adara in my ear, by the way, at any time today. So just. Oh, it's not working. Okay, just letting you guys know. All right, so yeah, and I only say that because you can't just keep on averaging down until forever. You have to understand what your risk limits are and things like that, especially when you're trading on a prop floor. So everybody that's here with us at Real Trading, we want to thank you for watching and thank you for supporting Real Trading, and it is the best prop firm worldwide. That's why we're sponsored with it. It's the only platform that I've ever traded on, so it could be biased. But again, understanding the platform, understanding your risk tolerances. Every office will have a risk manager, so it's sitting back there. We have Brankles and Wayne that are back there that are monitoring the traders behind us, traders like Obi, everybody as well that are under that umbrella. So, you have to be very, very careful with not being stopped out, and we all have our risk limits. So I just wanted to say that, although I sit here and say like, we were close for, there goes Tesla, by the way. Tesla just dropped down so we got out of half and out of half there, so not really a big trade. At the end of the day, you have to be trading within your limits, and that's just what I wanted to say. And, we're not anywhere near being shut down or anything like that, so you have to understand what your limits are and not try to hold something irresponsibly against you. So I feel like that's a little bit of a update there, and sometimes we will obviously have trades that will go against us, and sometimes we'll have trades that won't. And you just got to be able to trade your own book and understand what you're expecting from a stock and where you think it's going and what your risk parameters are. So that's averaging down, and averaging in is also a good idea. And then sometimes when you average down, you get plays like this, right? You got to take plays for reasons. We took it at 220. We took it there. We did have outs on Apple, but we didn't need them because they just started to go back up to the upside. So the idea here is to basically, I've made double on Apple, what will be flat-ish. Tesla's not a good example. Palantir is more the one that we've been hit on. So today, bad trading on Palantir as that kept going down. But again, we didn't feel irresponsible about this. We took the 31 break. That was the problem. So I'm going to hold at 30 cents. Basically, that's the problem. Then in and out here at 50s, that wasn't really a hit. It was the main break long that we had written down here. You say, take the trades you want to take. And today, that one did not work out. So, all right, Obi, I see that you're still in Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm just watching this.
And yeah, Take Two Interactive. Let's get the second take right now and see what's going on. But we still have Nvidia, though. So we'll find
Nvidia
out.
holding that 115, man. It's like, yeah, we've been selling off quite aggressively, again, across the board here, looking at the ES and the NQ. The NQ kind of hovering above that 19,000, a bit of a wick action off of that off of the economic number this morning there. 19,000 bounced quite aggressively back into that 19.1. We're trading below that with a wick at that 19.1 now as well. So a little bit of a sell-off after all day, getting bid up all day. Again, I wasn't here yesterday, but when I did see the charts, I was like, oh boy, did we kind of just trend on a lot of these tickers on the day. Nvidia looked interesting. Tesla looked pretty solid as well. Starbucks, Nike, for those of you who are trading that, definitely on watch. Again, day two today for the Starbucks, and then CMG as well, right? Chipotle being on the other side of that news there on the day. So Starbucks taking a little bit of a pullback. 115 still holding right now on this Nvidia, but yeah, nothing else too crazy. I'm seeing that Home Depot is holding trend from prior day there, holding some of its highs as it pushes. I'm going to be waiting for this 115 to kind of chop and churn as of right now on Nvidia. Alphabet's taking a pull to the downside, 159.60, so that broke through 160. Yeah. Amazon to the downside as well, 170 potentially incoming. Softies just trading sideways as of right now. 115 holding on the pullback on Nvidia. Spider trading within its opening, within its 15-minute opening range as of right now. So let's see what we have in
Bitcoin
store
breaking,
with these tickers. What's Bitcoin doing?
I was saying it broke through 60,000 as well. Let's go over to Adair, and we'll come back to some more trades.
This part of the show is brought to you by Benzinga Pro. Tired of being late to the trade? Always playing catch up in the market? Missing out on the big moves because you're too slow to the news? Benzinga Pro is your unfair advantage. Get breaking news alerts up to 30 minutes before everyone else, pinpoint exactly why stocks are moving, and join a thriving community of traders who share their strategies in real time. Ready to see how Benzinga Pro can transform your trading? Visit benzinga.com/pro and get a free 14-day trial.
Just trying to think, thank you. Anyway, as we talk about Benzinga Pro, I just looked to see if there was any economic numbers coming through today, and there is not. So we had CPI come already, and that came lower. We finally get that 2.9 in there, but the market today, and I wrote down, and it will be fine. Like, we're going to have a bad day today, obviously, as we go long and the market's just going down. I said, let's follow the trend on the CPI number. It doesn't look like it's a trend today, Obi, not my friend, for going long, because the trend on the number has been down. I thought the better number, we saw PPI yesterday, and you mentioned the strength there. I thought we could rinse and repeat that again today. Not that we'd be up another 2.4%. I mean, we closed at the highs and was rocketing, like you mentioned there yesterday as you were watching some of those charts. So, you know, a little bit of a different play here today. It feels like some of that steam sort of coming out of the market now and getting deflated back down. And I'm still watching Palantir at 30.50, but really my eyes are on Nvidia as we just pull into 14.50 one more time. If we break that low of 14s, then we got to get out. So we will wind up taking obviously a hit on this, but we're able to, like I said, manage. And that's kind of why I went on that, not a rant, but just talked about being able to manage your risk, because you just can't let these things fall down without an out, or else you get crushed. And that's how you blow up accounts. And the next thing you know, you're down on the month, or you're down on the quarter, or whatever it is. And that's never.
You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it's never a good spot. But I mean, you know, we can blow up accounts. It's fine. But make sure it's on trades that you like and you have stop orders. So that's the thing. You don't want to make sure that today's your last day trading ever. So here we go, 140. If this breaks 114, I'm going to have to definitely regroup and then just look for some shorts, because catching these bottoms today has not worked. We did a great trade on Apple early, and that's the only stock that I'm going to be able to hang my hat on, it seems like, right now. We are back into Tesla against 202. Why do we like Tesla 202? This was the level before that we were really, it was 203. But we're going to give this a little bit of room. So this was the level that I thought once we broke higher above it, we wanted to switch into the longs. I thought we were marching towards 220. We came up to that yesterday about 212, but now the drop down today, not healthy for Tesla for sure. A couple nice candles to the downside here for TSLA, and it looks like it wants to take 202 as well. So stop orders now in place. They're all getting close right now to liquidation spots here for us, as you're just pennies away right now. 50 cents one way or the other, and these trades are winners. But for right now, it looks like the sell side winning on the day, as we're both long.
Yeah, I mean, definitely this long is currently definitely not working as of right now on Starbucks. No idea if it will or not, but the buying has definitely the selling has definitely slowed down a little bit off of the open there. Again, I was part of it on the way down and kind of just staring at it, watching, looking for anything distinctly different. But something where the selling hasn't really stopped, Sean, is that Nvidia. Nvidia all the way down to 114s. Oh boy, that is very, very aggressive as of right now. So let's see if Starbucks can pull back up into that VWAP. VWAP I have sitting at 94.38. We're attempting to test 93 halves right now. Some size initially, what was it? 93.30s. I think there was like 500 lots that were taken on the bid there as well. So kind of just being a little patient, waiting for that to potentially show some significance. 114 halves now on Nvidia. But yeah, take a look at this market, man. We're coming right into that 19th out quite aggressively, trading well below this 5500, 5570s highs of day on the ES, and we're pushing right back into 5450 here
right,
as we pull in quite aggressively. Right. So I'm kind of looking. The shorts are definitely winning quite well there. Alphabet as well. Take a look at that one. We were looking at that as a potential trade there with the whole DOJ news coming out and stuff. We're trading below that 160 as of right now. So aggressive selling across the board when it comes to today's price action. A little distinctly different from yesterday, where again you saw all day we caught quite an aggressive bid. So question becomes, do we sell off all day today, Sean? I don't know, but
I like
so far we are a little aggressive to the downside.
Oh man, we are in a new position. It's Nike. Just hearing that there is some possible activist intervention here with Nike, but that's just a rumor from the Benzinga Pro platform there that's being circulated. There we go. Are we out of it? We're out of this if it breaks 90s to the downside. We just tried it. Nice little spike up there. I just want to try it back to VWAP here. We probably should have waited for it. But again, if there was any sort of truth, anything like this is well worth this 30-cent worth of risk to me right now, just in case there was something about this story and if they wanted to buy it up. It looks like they're trying to sell it off with everything else today. Come on, Nvidia. Nice stock. Hopefully this goes and we can get back up to the upside as it's trying to take 115 again here. We're long it, and we've really absorbed a lot here on this. So there's the dip down on Nvidia. That's too bad, man. We just got some out there up near that 115. We're going to try to get out a little bit more if we can rally. Also, we did get a nice little opportunity to get out of Tesla, and we did that northbound of 203 as well. Okay, so there goes Nike. Nike does fall through there, 77.90. Let's have a look at this, but we took a shot there. I don't have any problems doing that. That's just something where we'll take a couple hundred shares, something like that. And if it drops down, it drops down. I thought that was worth the risk because I heard in my ear some kind of activist potential intervention right there. Come on, Tesla. There it goes back up there now again. We're only 40 cents in the money on this, and now we're 40 cents in the money also on Nvidia. We're offering 22s for some strange reason. And there it goes to the upside. We got some nice trades happening now, Obi. Okay. We're back in right now. We're feeling better about ourselves a little bit here as we go. There goes Nvidia. We just get that play now. 70 cents in the money, 70 cents in the money now on Tesla as this market's trying to get a little revived right now. What's up?
Yeah, a little bit of a balance.
It's been a pretty exciting day so far for the markets. We did have, as you can see here in this 15-minute candle, quite the reaction as the markets decided how they felt about those CPI numbers that came in this morning. Lower than expectations across the board, with CPI year over year coming in at 2.9% versus estimates of 3%, and month over month coming in at 0.2%. So in line there with estimates. Bitcoin's certainly been moving around a little bit here as well. It's been quite an exciting day. And we also still have some day two reactions with yesterday's news from Chipotle and Starbucks, as well as Google with that news with the DOJ. So let's take a look at some of the names making some moves this morning, including Kellanova. This one up about 7%, a little bit more stagnant because it is being bought out here by Mars, set to acquire the company in a deal valued at almost $36 billion. So good look for Kellanova. We also have DraftKings here, a little bit weaker now, but on watch as it was trading with lots of volume in the pre-market, saying that they're deciding not to move forward with the gaming tax surcharge after Flutter, their competitor, said that they would not be moving forward with this charge during their earnings report. So DKNG on watch as well. Last but not least, we do have Chipotle. Starbucks and Chipotle both on watch the day after Brian Niccol, former CEO of Chipotle, was announced to be joining Starbucks. Wedbush actually upgrading Chipotle to outperform this morning. So CMG on watch with a day two move, still up 1%, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, no, definitely Starbucks and CMG definitely on watch today for a day two play. Again, kind of keep mentioning Starbucks selling off quite aggressively off of the open there. I'm definitely not on the right side of this move as right now, kind of buying up a lot of this selling we saw happening from yesterday. 92.70s testing as of right now. 15 still holding, 115 still on the Nvidia. Let's see what Amazon is up to there. Amazon still holding that low there as well. Apple still trading within its opening range, so that's that kind of muted there. We talk about Nvidia holding that 115. Softy still trading within its opening range, but Google is the only one that's really aggressively selling. We talk about that trade break below that 160, and we're trading at 168.90s as of right now on Google. So aggressive selling happening on that one there. Starbucks, again, we talk about this, a little bit of a trend to the downside here. 92.70s pulling into some of yesterday's kind of consolidation lows here as we speak. aggressive selling kind of continues to come in here on Starbucks. I gotta respect this stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because we had both sort of written down shorting that name if we had sort of got up to that 97 area. I like 92 on that stock, so we'll wait to see if that happens. Okay. In going long again, Shopify. Okay, there it is. Okay, we'll take 10 cents on a piece of it now as Shopify trying to get rejuvenated here. Oh yeah, let's go Tesla. Tesla right now, $1 in the money. Nvidia right now, $1 in the money. Apple right now, $1.50 in the money. All right, so we're starting to go right now a little bit back up to the upside here. I mean, wow, what a day, what a day. I'm learning so much more about myself. I'm learning so much more about trading every single day, and this is why I absolutely love it. I think this is why I coach and why I really like teaching kids and teaching and talking trading and just doing this job specifically, because if you're not sitting here and learning every day about yourself, what strategies are working, what strategies are not working, then quite frankly, you're in the wrong spot. And I really, I mean, I liked school. School wasn't my favorite, but the learning that we could, I shouldn't say that I did. I really enjoyed myself, but I feel like this is much different. When you're passionate about something like this, it really excites and makes everything, like they talk about something about being the spice of life, and I just think that if you're not doing something that you love to do, that is unfortunate, and try to find that one thing. I mean, we all have to pay bills, and I definitely understand that, but find it somewhere, because it really gets me going, and I for myself anyways, I should just talk like that, but there it goes. Nvidia, yes sir. And again, you know what I learned today again, Obi? It's not, there's reasons why writing things down, putting into the work, and sometimes you get carried away. And obviously being a hot-blooded Italian, I do understand that there's some emotional issues. And you got to stick with your guns. And I think that me getting involved with Nvidia early, we bought that at 117.50. We took $1. We were wondering about it at 119. We got excited about a 120 break. So instantly my mind was automatically like, these are longs. As it was falling back down, I was like, I like this level. I like this level. But at the end of the day, I had to find my sticky note and say, what was the level? And we found it at 115. Did it go against us? Yes, it did. But you could clearly see the most I held this against myself was 80 cents. We took hits on it. It will be a red stock, but we're able to now make the majority of it back as we hold out on a level that we believed in, and then able to get it out and not be greedy here, as the market is not trading the same way that we had hoped it would. So sometimes you got to take what the market gives you, not what you expect it to give you. So, all right, we're gonna on that note, I'm gonna take another piece out here at 115.70 because again, the market's heading downside, and we're not trying to be stubborn with this. Let's not get out on every single move down, but let's start to get the majority out now of Nvidia and see if we can hold it. So we'll take out about 20% of what we have left, which is about 40% of the original piece. So yeah, so far so good here. But Tesla, we did good getting out again, not trying to be greedy on that play. We just got out at 203.80s there. So that saved us $1 as it's all the way back down. That's trading, Obi.
Guess what's at 92?
Is it?
It's right at 92.
That's the trade, man.
I got out, better late than never, but got out as it broke through 92 halves, because I'm like, if it gets through 92 halves, I think the likelihood to get to 90 is quite high, and we get right there to that. But again, I got to be making that assessment on this slowdown at 93s, right? So I get most of it on top of 93, and I'm looking for it to push back up towards VWAP, but it gets all the way down to 92. That's perfectly fine. That's where we caught a bit of a bid yesterday on Starbucks. So let's see if this 92 holds as of right now. But yeah, that Nvidia off of that 214 holding as of right now. That 114, 116 incoming on Nvidia, as again Starbucks sells off. We got all the way into 19,010s on the Nasdaq here, and we did clip that 54.50 here on the ES. So we did sell off quite aggressively on the first few 15-minute candles here, but how much time is left on this 15-minute candle to print? I am asking. There's about 6 minutes left, 6 minutes and 15 seconds for this candle to finish printing here. 92's coming in on Starbucks. I'm still waiting for a potential bid. I was a little too long bias off of the open, but I'm still going to kind of maintain that bias until we get distinctly below that 92 level. As of right now, we are selling off quite extensively now across the board. Again, we talked about Google. Google short is working well. Nvidia short below this VWAP. VWAP is holding well on Nvidia as of right now as well. So you can take a look right here. We talk about some of that trend resistance. We get up to 119.5 on Nvidia, pull back in, break through pre-market lows here, quite aggressively pull into 114s. Now, this is not the low of day from yesterday. Again, Sean had that long off of that 112. He was saying we have a low of 114, just 2 points above yesterday's low. So the question becomes: do we continue to make some higher lows on the days here after last Monday's kind of dip and pop? Not really rip back up, but we've been gradually kind of bidding back up incrementally over the days that are making higher lows on the day-to-day here. So let's see if we end up making a higher low here across the board. 115.5s holding on Nvidia, but Alphabet can't stop, won't stop, still to the downside, trading 158s, 30s now. That's wow. Palantir, yeah, I was looking at that $30.
Someone just brought up to me, what's up, Manuel Palmer there in the chat.
Forgot about that one.
Thanks for bringing that up. My whole day is basically red Palantir. That's it. And it's just like all the way back, all the way back. Oh, man. At least we could talk about liking our job and laughing at the same time while losing money. Like, it's not fun to do that, obviously. But that's the day. This happened to me before on Palantir. Actually, I think it was yesterday where it broke back down in and it broke through $30.25 or something like that. And then we were able to load it up back down around $30.05 or something. And then it popped and we were able to be fine on Palantir. Obviously, today, we're not fine right now. If anything, I'm looking at this. That was a short, right? I mean, that was a short all the way up there. All right, so there goes Tesla. Look at that break downside there. So we were able to get out of the majority of this trade. We actually talked about that, and there's the break lower as this market now throwing up all over itself, including this Nvidia trade right back into 70s again. So we'll buy a little bit more down here. We talked about where our ultimate out is. This is why we also talk about getting in and out of trades and emptying out the clip and being responsible with your net. You could be wrong or right. Better to be right for longer and wrong for less time. So, yeah. So as it's pulling back in again, we know we want to buy Nvidia, so we just did buy that. So let's now wait to see if this can work back again. Let's put out, we just got some 70s on that. We'll put something out in the right at 115, see if we can get that out back up. And then if we can climb back a little bit, maybe 115.15 or 115.20, something like that, just to ease out of this position again, in case this dip is real. We just broke through 19,000 again on the NASDAQ. Not again, for the first time, right there, 19,000. We did jump off of that spot on that CPI number. I don't know if that wick was real or not. When those numbers come out, I don't know the volume that was conducted down there. I'd have to look at a time in sales. But for right now, we have broken below 19,000. And any past support that this market maybe thought it had is now gonzo. So, all right, nice move back up here. We just got a nice move for Nvidia back up to 115 right there. We missed it. We were at 98s. So right now we'll go to 92 and see if we can get a fill on that one as we just reloaded this at 70s. Again, let's take some out. The long has not been right, but let's reward decisions that we're able to make intra-flush. That's a new one. Intra-flush.
That 19th out just cracked.
That
right
and it still is cracking. We need to go short on something. Tell me, people in the chat, please. Tell me something that we could go short on. None of my triggers are hitting right now because everything's so low that it's not hitting the levels. So we're gonna have to wait for that. Oh, just an update on Shopify. We did get hit there at 25s. So we got 15s for 10 cents, 25s for 20 cents there on Shopify. And we missed that out on Nvidia, so that sucks. All right, Palantir, you have First Solar, DJT, Intel, Starbucks, you're on. Google, yeah, okay, so these all make sense. Right, duh, Google. We thought about a DOJ investigation as well. Wow. All right, good thing we talked about not buying any more of Google, man.
Yeah.
Wow, this name is not operating the way I wanted to as a long in my portfolio, but there it goes down into 158. Man, a flush is healthy, but this is a big one right now into 158. No levels here for me at all on Google. Here's a 20-minute chart. I mean, right into there. I mean, no levels. I guess there's a level. I'd rather wait to see about this 155 area that we talked about as being kind of like the Widowmaker spot right there. You can see on your screen. Hit the like and the subscribe and the share. There's a little share icon you can hit as well there on YouTube. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, all of that jazz as well. All right, Shopify now back into the money, 10 cents. Not worth the celebrating. Apple's been the long that just has not been wrong. So I feel like any next dip, if this market really flushes down, let's talk about Apple again a little bit more seriously. And there's Nvidia. Yes, sir. Face slap a little bit there as Nvidia trying to get back upside now. That'll really make my day if this can go back up. So let's wait to see what happens here for Nvidia. The saving grace potentially of my account right now. Let's see 115.40 if we can get that on Nvidia.
Yeah, so a little bit of a bounce here off of that 92 happening on Starbucks. 92 halves printing right now. So we've been holding the downtrend quite aggressively off of the open, and this is the first kind of bid that we're catching that did break some of the trend here. Let's see if we can push back up into 93s. 93s there. VWAP 93.87, but we've been holding the moving average to the downside. Moving average sitting at 92.60s. We're trading. We're pushing or attempting to push right up into that 92.60s as of right now. So let's see what that'll potentially bring us here with a bit of a pullback here. Market also kind of taking a little bit of a bounce back into that 19th hour. That aggressive selling off of that 19th hour was a little distinct to the downside there. We are holding this 19,680 for now, but yeah, still. That pressure is still on, Sean, as these stickers pull to the downside here. Bit of a chop action today. Every time we do kind of slow down on the selling there, we just kind of chop sideways for a little bit and then continue to the downside. So definitely keeping that on watch, keeping that in mind as well as we kind of continue this day forward. Yeah, are you guys sitting short on anything? Have you guys been trading on the short side? These shorts have been coming in quite nicely across the board here off of the open, as again the market's taking a bit of a breather to the downside. Willis Addison with the super chat. Let's go. Walmart bought the dip yesterday. $68 calls. Let's go, Willis Addison. Congrats on that one. What is Walmart up to? Let's take a quick look at that one as well. Walmart again. They're gonna have earnings. I think it's tonight. If I'm not mistaken, tomorrow morning. Yeah, okay, so it is on the horizon there. And pushing the horizon, high of day, is Walmart on the day, looking distinctly different from the rest of the market, only catching a bid here. Look at these 3-minute candles. Look at 15-minute candles as well, holding up quite nicely. Prior day, we sold off aggressively off of 86.80s, and we're pushing those once again on Walmart. So shout out to Willis Addison on that trade there.
All right, yeah, thanks, Willis, for that super chat. We got some Nvidia out as it ripped through. We actually got a really great fill there at 24s or 22s. Here, let me tell you the exact price. 22s, sorry. 22 there on Nvidia. So let's just, again, we just reloaded it. This has been that trade for me. You know, buying strong name into a weak market. Let's see if it goes higher. I want to buy more Palantir. That was sort of my next call here. But I want to get, this time I want to get greedy with it, and I want to make sure that we get the right price. So I'm going to put a small little bid down here at 70. That's where VWAP is. That's where the 50 period is as well. Let's get that fill, and then we'll try to play off this 60. If we break through 60, then we can get out of this trade. So that's kind of what I want to deal with. My whole day is red on Palantir. If we don't have Palantir, we're completely fine. So there's nothing to sort of cry about, but it does suck when it's right back to where it was. And it's just, that's part of the problem, is when you get that huge flush down, it does hurt sometimes to get involved too early into some names. And I feel like there's no doubt about that. I mean, we're prime examples right now. We're actually crushing Nvidia right now. And I can't even really talk about it too much because we didn't have we had proper management here. We didn't really load up until 115, but the thing is that did fall against us. Now we're able to get out. We got out on bumps there as we realized something was wrong. But we were down a lot on this trade, and we're just lucky that the work at 115 sort of held out there. And you can use words like luck or not. We wouldn't have been shut down or anything, but we were double what we are now to the downside. So it was not a great move for Nvidia or for myself to be holding that. So yeah, I'm not super happy about that. But anyways, Tesla is still in the pocket. We talked about that. That's going to be a flat stock for us today as that's trying to bounce back. And here's that 202 level. I actually like this 202 level, Obi. So I'm feeling like we should maybe get back into it now and play off some of those bottoms. That recent bottom was 201 and change. I'd like to see this market really take 19,000, not just hang around it though. So that's something that's happening. Around. And we just took $1. I'm not even going to hit the dollar club, but there goes Nvidia just went there up to 50. So right there, we just bought that. That's 115.50. We're long at 114.60. So close enough to that dollar there on Nvidia as we hold that back up to the upside. And by the way, yeah, buddy, give it up for some Shopify love right now.
Oh boy, okay.
Shopify, 30 cents in the money as that continues to go higher as well. We still have, Obi, 60% of this trade on. So really happy with our Shopify trade, but just noticing it now as we're focusing too much on Nvidia. So let's get out some more Shopify. The reason why we like it was this. There it is. There's the hot dog. Feeling a lot better about ourselves. We actually came in with quite a headache. I didn't sleep that well last night for some reason. I had fantasy football on my mind. And whenever I'm thinking about something, I cannot get through it, man. I'm almost thinking about stuff, trading and this and that and all this stuff. Fantasy football. You got to keep
the mental as clear as possible.
You know what? I actually don't think too much about this kind of trading after basically 4:30, like after the recap show and stuff like that. On the way home, I'll think about some stuff and go through some stuff. But then once I'm home and stuff like that, I basically flip off until I sit back at this desk the next morning. And I listen to podcasts and stuff like that on the way home and on the way into work. So we don't flip off completely, but I don't really think too much about it until we sit down and see some charts. Good out there for Shopify. Let's go over to the big screen with Adair. It's 10:20. Alibaba reports.
IWM trying to actually form a little bit of a rounded bottom here. So interesting look here as we try to find some support on the Russell 2000, still down about 0.7% on the day, so a little bit weaker than the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 as of right now. Quite a few low float names to talk about today. One of them is Greenlane, GNLN. You may remember this one from a few days ago when it ran on a different catalyst. Yesterday after the close, they announced they're set to raise $6.5 million through this private investment deal. This one also worth noting here, 520,000 share float for GNLN. DGLY, this one has a 3 million share float, so slightly larger, receiving a patent here for tracking and analyzing drivers within a vehicle fleet. So DGLY still up about 60%, though not at highs of day right now. And last but not least, BURU, Nuburu. No news on this one, but a decent amount of social media attention, still up about 50% in the day. They do have a float here of about 250,000 shares, so keep an eye on BURU here, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Getting some more out of Nvidia as we are now over that 115.60 area. That's still Shopify, my bad. We just are stopping here at 80s, so I don't really know why that's happening. So we're going to take another piece out there. I thought we could get back to view up, and I still do think that, but we are hesitating a little bit. We don't have a whole heck of a lot of shares left, but I wouldn't mind getting some more out right now as we'll just sort of put this trade to bed, to rest, right? We're basically be down on sort of Nvidia today, what we've been making on it. So I don't have, and we're still waiting for Phil, so that might even be incorrect. But as we go, want to make sure that we sort of cut some of this out right now. We're still waiting for Palantir. That Tesla's an interesting buy for me. But look, despite the market holding 19,000 right now, Tesla's turning back in. So this is something interesting down here at 201, 201.50. I think it's worth a shot. We'll buy a little bit down here. We just got 86s right there. We'll try to buy some 50s as well. And again, these prices are coming in like real quick sometimes. So take advantage of them if you can. There it is. So it's a quick little scalp there of 30 cents. Now let's see if we can get back. I mean, that 203 is kind of where we stopped there. Nice little rebound back up to 203.50. 203 right now is the 50-period moving average. I feel pretty confident if we can get 203. Now, that's a ways away. So let's put a 202.80 and offer that right now, watching out for a 201 break. If we break the low on this name, we do not need to be in Tesla. It's down 3% today, much more than the market, and not going higher as the market is going higher.
Yeah.
So that's a pause for concern. Obi, we're still in Apple. It's still the trade of the day for me from the very, very beginning. It'll be P&L number one on the show, obviously, as we've been battling longs all day. So the only long that's worked, in my opinion, and maybe you have one that you're in Starbucks right now, which is great. But here we go. Apple still continuously working for us. Shopify, oh man. Hey, no better of a GIF.
Let's go.
Shopify, cash register.
Yeah.
We'll take
Going
it.
a little shop in there.
We have
Got it at a discount.
Got
a deal?
I don't think, you know what, on Shopify, all kidding aside, I don't think this is very much of a discount. Shopify's had a huge move back up, right up into the 200 period moving average right there. But again, this is sort of that undercover love that we have for some stocks, right? It's like, although it looks like we're very, very obsessed with, and I am, trust me, on trading Nvidia and some of these other names, you're just seeing right now, this right now is 60 cents in the money on Shopify on a well-positioned piece. So, I mean, we talk about being a support and resistance trader. What does Shopify look like it has down here? Support. So there's Nvidia as well. Look at that reload on Nvidia. Okay, this is why we talk about it. Do not judge a book by its cover sometimes. There's Nvidia getting reloaded again, and a great trade on that, now $1 in on the reload. So although it's been a tough day to catch some of these longs, we have caught some of them, and we've caught them pretty well. So there goes Nvidia, there goes Shopify. Tesla is the puke stock of the day, and I think we'll stay away from Tesla as it's coming into 201 now. If it breaks 201, we're out. So we'll try a little bit more down here in the 30s if we can get something, but then on that break lower, Obi, completely finished if we break 201.
Yeah, so we're kind of holding in and around this 19,000. So the market is catching a little bit of a bounce. You can see the ES a little more aggressive than the NASDAQ here as of right now. Yeah, let's see if we can catch a little bit of a bounce on some of these tickers. Nvidia is still holding that 115 area right now. 92 holding on Starbucks as well. Starbucks attempted to push towards VWAP, couldn't quite get there. Getting a little bit of selling coming in again. Look at that NQ trading back below that 19,000. So aggressive push back down to the downside with only about 3.5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle to print. And we're catching a little bit of a sell back into these levels. So maybe we are not ready for a bounce yet, Sean, as the market, that selling comes right back in. Look at the wick happening on the ES as well. But again, 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on this 15-minute candle to print. So we still got a little bit of time. Let's see. I'm curious to know whether or not we'll close above or below this 19,000. The first kind of green candle as of right now on the NASDAQ. But again, with a few minutes left, we could still close red. We could still continue to the downside. I have no idea, but I'm kind of patiently waiting on some of these, on Starbucks to kind of come into potentially into VWAP after it's kind of changed. Again, 92, a little bit of a key level from yesterday. Let's see if that acts as a bit of support on the day today. If not, that's perfectly fine. We will be back for more a little bit later there. If 92, if it gives up 92 as of right now, but that 115 holding as of right now as well. So looking across the board at some of these constituents, Amazon looking a little weak, but Alphabet finally catching a little bit of a bounce here. Again, first green candle on Alphabet happening as of right now. Nvidia catching a bid. Day low right now is 114. We're trading about 1.5 points higher on the Nvidia. So let's see. We're not really seeing much of yesterday's bidding, man. That strong selling off of the open might be a little suggestive of a reversion, but like I said earlier, we've only been making higher lows off of prior Monday, right? Even though the selling has been a little bit aggressive over the past few weeks. Since last Monday going into Friday, we did incrementally make higher lows as well across the board, and strong sell-off of the open. I'm asking, bigger picture, that's been kind of the trend. Where does that trend potentially catch is the question that I am asking as of right now. 93s incoming here on Starbucks. So let's see what Starbucks has in store for us. Do we get a reversion to VWAP? VWAP, again, 93.74, so a point away from VWAP as of right now, as some of that selling pressure may be dissipating from the morning session going into 10:30. A 92.70s printing right now. Nvidia is still holding below VWAP, man. Are you still taking? You're still
Yeah, no, but I'm so I have that 10%.
You're pointing the money. You're pointing the money.
Yeah, we're pointing the money.
Well.
And Nvidia's been fine. There's been nothing wrong with Nvidia today, to be honest with you. We just had a big drop, and it came in and just some support, and we've been hitting it. There was a problem with it early. There's no doubt about that. But this has been the one that we've really supported here. Unfortunately, we'll flush ourselves down again. And now we're down, a couple coffees for sure on Tesla, because that last try at 201 faded out again. So we went long at 201.70. Then we bought some 30s. So we'll take about a 50-cent hit on that drop down. I'm thinking about going short now on this name. So a little bit of a bump up here. It doesn't look like it wants to go higher. Well, I almost want to try it against the 50 period. We've really sort of absorbed that. So we'll take a starter position right now. Basically the first short for me today, which means it probably won't work. We are long Nvidia, which is quite nicely in the money. Shopify is nicely in the money. And we also have a new entrant here. And it's only new because I've ignored it until now. And that is Palantir. So we did get that 7. Remember we said we were going to be a little bit greedy. Not greedy, but try to wait for our prices. So we actually get 72s there. It just does come up into 78. It's not a full position or anything, but let's just see if I was offering 80s. Looks like we just missed the 80s there, which sucks. Hopefully we do get a little bit of a move up. There's a build right now of 1.35 million crude barrels. So we'll have to watch out for crude oil right now. XOM up to 18, 118, 119 coming through. USO could be looked at here as we get gasoline as well as oil, I'm hearing in my ear right now. So USO starting to dance around a little bit, being negative and turning right now down to 77.10. So watch out. Liquidity, a little sparse on this. So we'll have to wait to see what happens now with oil. All right, we're short now Tesla and long Palantir, our new positions, and $1.30 in the money on Nvidia right now, as you mentioned, Obi, a point in on that one. Is Starbucks, the level that I had written down was 92.
Yes.
You're long 90.
We bounce off 92.
Good one.
Thank you.
I like that.
It's working for now.
Should have trusted in myself as well. Working for now, it's very, very key. Yeah. We'll talk about some targets and whatnot for Obi's trade and what he's looking at. But for right now, we got to go over to the desk with Adara.
We did just get that EIA crude oil inventory number really quickly before we get to crypto, because we did have a bit of a reaction to that. 1.357 million barrels coming in. So this is above the forecast of negative 2 million barrels. So interesting look there. In the oil space, in terms of crypto, we've got an update on this ongoing saga between Riot Platforms and Bitfarms going back to May. Riot expressed interest in acquiring Bitfarms for $950 million, which Bitfarms thought was a little bit undervalued. Then they then tried to block any acquisitions here with a poison pill, which was rejected by the Canadian regulators. New update here, though. Riot Platforms has now acquired an additional $2.28 million stake here. They now have a total stake of 18.9% in Bitfarms. It's already starting to show a little bit of effect because they have now, Bitfarms just announced the resignation of Nicholas Bonta, which is one of their founders and a member of their board, and one of the 3 board members that Riot Platforms expressed interest in getting rid of. So interesting look here. We'll have to see how this saga continues to unfold. But Riot getting a little bit more of Bitfarms with that most recent purchase. We have a bit of a bull flag forming here in BTC on the daily chart in relationship to the USD here. We have that nice support here off the 54,000 level, now consolidating a bit. Wicking up into that near that 62,000 level for 2 days in a row now. Right now, actually just below the 60,000 level. Ethereum holding up slightly better here. Still up on the day, below that 2,700 that we were above earlier today, but still holding on to 2,650. Generally, slight positivity across the board here. We've got Ripple, Solana, BNB all up slightly. Toncoin notably here up about 10%. Doge, the only one that I'm seeing down on the day here, about almost 2% to the downside, but generally mild strength across the cryptocurrency space, guys.
All right. I just want to say, again, we talked about changing up our game. I was peed off at Tesla, so you know what we decided to go, and we talked about this. We went the other way. We flipped it on its head. We said we're going to take our first short of the day, and there goes Tesla. Tesla now $1 in the money short. Wow, that was a good experience because, again, we waited for something to happen, and this time it happened in the right way for us. And there's Tesla, man. Play the Play the momentum, my guy, man. I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to do right there. So Tesla right now, yes, sir, man. That's going to be a good one as it continues to fall down. Let's just, I mean, 200 maybe now coming in. I didn't really, that bottom is $200.50. I mean, that would be at $1.50 if we take it. I mean, we can do that for sure, but it's still coming in. I'm going to bid $200 and like 30 cents just because. Let's see if that will come into play. Why not? I mean, we're still coming in right now. There's $1.50 on the reversal play. So whatever, man. We could Barry Horowitz, props it up, tap ourselves on the shoulder here because that little re-flip up right there is going to put us positive on Tesla. And I just said like how upset I was that we were long on this name. We had to have an opportunity to flip it, and we did exactly that. And then, of course, I go back to the stock that I'm the worst on today, and that's Palantir. And look, we just got stopped out again on Palantir. It's a good thing we didn't put on too many shares there, but Palantir stops us out again as it just keeps on falling down, man. We try to get VWAP, we try to get the 50s, and then we lose it at 50 again. So that'll only be about a 10-cent hit, but that sucks there for Palantir as it falls in as well. But there it goes, man. We are bidding, and we just got that fill. Tesla's breaking 200. Do we average into this or not? Any talk on your Starbucks there? It's stupid about Palantir.
So the market's kind of pulling in aggressively there. And Starbucks is holding on the bid. So I like that a little bit there. For the confluence, for the long there, you can see both the ES and the NQ aggressive selling to the downside, and Starbucks holds 92 halves as of right now, and catching a bit of a bid back into 93. So let's see if and when the market does bounce, will this ticker come in, or do we kind of continue the selling there? But again, that is some information that I do like seeing as of right now. Let's see how it kind of pans out going forward. 92 half still holding on Starbucks as the NQ, aggressive selling below that 19th thou and picking right back up. 18,920s are some of the lows as of right now. And what is it? 54.40s on the ES, man. So some aggressive selling coming into these markets. But Starbucks holding as of right now, holding the moving average from earlier. We've sold off quite extensively off of the open, and the hold on the bid as the market sells off. I do like that as a bit of confluence to maybe the bid potentially catching, and sellers maybe not as in charge as they were off of the open. So let's see if it can get to VWAP. VWAP, again, seller is very aggressive off of the open. VWAP sitting at 93 halves as of right now. Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Obi. All right, so good little call there. I mean, I'm glad we talked about that 92 level earlier. Too bad we didn't get 97 as a pop forward. We're back long Palantir. Let's see if that wants to work. We are out of 80% of our Tesla. Good move down. I mean, we got that 200 bid. That was really great. The 201 bid was also really great. So those plays starting to work for us a little bit. We did not reload Nvidia, and that could have been something to have reloaded down there. But again, I kind of just, the market wants to fall down. I'm fine with that. It's just, I want to get better prices, especially if we're going long on something. Here comes 200 again. I think you could almost add to a 200 break, to be honest with you, on this trade here for Tesla. We're now $2 in the money on the Tesla short. I mean, I thought that we were dead on Tesla, and we were. But now it's just come right back to life here pretty nicely on Tesla. I'm going to put another bid here just in case we hold 200. Instead of adding to it, let's just get out and then debate the next play on it. Because maybe it is a 200 break. So let's get some out in case we do continuously resist that stop out point. All right, 57s now. Let's punch a little bit out there at 56, okay? We also get our 57s on Palantir as well, as that's now 12 cents in the money. Not a big one, but we'll make back what we just kind of lost on that and put a little bit more Palantir love back on the board. Now, again, Apple still $1.20 in the money, Nvidia $1, Shopify 50 cents. That's a good one right there. I do wish we did have that Starbucks trade. So that was a good one there, Obi. Yeah, as we'll try to work that back. I really like that 92 level.
I definitely had to have a lot more down there. That's what I'm realizing. I got a significant chunk a little bit higher there. But with the market kind of bouncing now, let's see if it kind of holds. 92.55s I have as the 8 EMA here on a 3-minute. So that's kind of what I'm following as of right now. But we're holding some of these levels. Market attempting a little bit of a bounce. 92 key level from prior day. So I like all of that. But bigger picture on the day, yeah, we are kind of downtrending. We're holding some levels from prior day's strength, but again, we could just be consolidating sideways as of right now. So I do want to be wary of that. And again, as the market it acts a little bit volatile here from the lows back up, let's see if we can get to that 19th thou. This 15-minute candle has about 6 minutes left to print there, Sean. So 115 is still holding on Nvidia. So it seems like that low day in and around that 114 still hasn't really cracked. And we are attempting for a bit of a bounce. Wow, take a look at this wick action on both the ES and the NQ, man. So that is some push coming in. Again, distinctly different from the selling that we had off of the open there, with the bids finally potentially catching. What else am I watching? I'm watching new holdings. They had earnings day one. They've been holding trend very, very well, distinctly different from the market. Nike's been selling off of the open there. So has Starbucks. Nvidia sideways off of the open. On. We know that was a trade yesterday, bit sideways as well. On. And Chipotle, nothing too spicy there as it just trades sideways.
All right, yeah, hopefully it's not, you don't have too many spicy things going on there either. Okay, there's Starbucks trying to go. We just talked about that. Palantir is now 20. Let's go, man. Face slap it up a little bit there. As we're finally now 25 cents in the money on Palantir, as that's trying to get back up to the upside. So we'll make a little bit back on that trade. And as I said to you, there it is right there, right? Boom. We did lose it a little bit, but we got it back. Sometimes it's about that patience. And look what we just did also on Tesla. We now have 10% left. So this is good, man. We'll end our day pretty much at the highest spot we've been at, just because it's still red. But because we've made some really decent trades here back in to show you guys there, including $2 plus on, or just $2 on Tesla. Right there, nice 50 cents plus, and we still have it on Shopify. That was about as smooth as it can go. Apple, we're still in this one. I mean, that's been a great stock. Wow, that was a good opportunity down there. And then Nvidia is still $1 in as well. So all is well right now. It's 10:40. I still got a little bit of a headache, man. I don't know. We're gonna have to have a little bit there, but. All right, Obi, good trading there on Starbucks. Let's see if that continues to work. I know you've had the one name today, which is fine. There we go, man. We are starting to rally up now. Let's go Palantir. Let's go Nvidia. We're starting to get some life back in this market, and we're glad that you're here with us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's throw it over to Adara. Let's go Palantir.
Some strength coming into the sector board here. Some sectors mixed. We do have retail trade here. Walmart and Home Depot, one of which reported yesterday. Then we have Walmart reporting tomorrow. Both of these particularly strong in this sector. Energy minerals getting a little bit of strength here as well, led by XOM. Some strength in health services, finance, health technology, a bit more mixed, but keep an eye on Eli Lilly here, clearing that $930 level and getting a price target increase from Berenberg this morning. In terms of other sectors, consumer services still on watch for the golds to Starbucks and Chipotle on day two of that Brian Nichols move. A little bit mixed as well here in producer manufacturing and commercial services, but some, of course, always worth talking about these tech sectors. A lot of these Mag 7 names in both of these sectors are going to be a little bit more muted, except for Google here in technology services. Sharply to the downside on news of that DOJ intervention potentially here, as reported by Bloomberg. In terms of electronic technology, interestingly enough, generally strong here, except for the chip names. We've got Broadcom and Nvidia a little bit more muted on the day, or names like AMD and Intel actually trading lower. So this could be a sector to watch out for here. Electronic technology trying to pick a direction, guys.
All right, more outs on Palantir. $1 in the money now on Nvidia. We'll wait for 116. Right now on Nvidia. Actually, we're getting close. We're at 115.90. See if we can get out of Nvidia.
Yeah, so still trading here, 92 halves on the Starbucks. So again, market is bouncing quite aggressively. We came all the way back up to 19th thou here, as you can see. So the bounce is definitely there. Let's see if we can break back above that 19th thou and push for some fresh highs here on the day. That 19th thou, oh boy, we got 2 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to print. And man, have we recovered quite a significant amount here of that selling. Over 100 points, isn't it? It's about, what is that, 18,925. So yeah, if we kind of push back up above that 19th thou almost 100 points of a push back up on the wick on the 15-minute candle here on the NASDAQ. So absolutely wild, this kind of volatility coming in here. Walmart taking a bit of a pullback. We were looking at that earlier. Starbucks still holding sideways as of right now, but above that 92, so it stays a little interesting in my books here. But with only about 2 minutes left to print, see a lot of sideways action there. What is Google up to? That's my next question. Google is holding some of its lows as of right now. Again, Apple sideways chop, Nvidia sideways chop where it's at right now. Amazon trending down a little bit, and Microsoft catching a little bit of a bid with that. Again, 15-minute wick action happening there as well on the softy. Spider bouncing off of a day low of 540 right now, Sean. So we're attempting to catch a bounce there.
Oh yeah,
we're attempting to catch a bounce. I see that you're mainly long everything and short Tesla there off 202s. What's going on with Tesla?
Yeah, I mean, Tesla's been that big one. It's the only short that we've had all day, either one of us. And right now, Tesla continues to be that short. We're out of it. We only have 10% left. We're going to see on a 200 break and then debate punching 200 short. The futures just resisted the 50-period moving average. So that's kind of, Obi, what I was watching there, just to get a feel to see what this market, wanted to do. And looks like it still wants to go lower. We should have gotten out. Not should have. You know, we're waiting for 116, so we're going to still do that on Nvidia. I feel like that's going to be the play for us here to hold fort. We've been getting out some more Palantir. We still have 15 minutes to go, so it's not, this day's not over yet. But, we have, like I mentioned before, we have battled back nicely here today and made back about half of what we were down early. So it hasn't been a beautiful day. This has been a beautiful stock, though. We had put this on our radar yesterday, and the reason why is because I came in, and someone at the end of the day there, and I apologize, I don't remember the name. There's so many of you guys, over 7,000 or 8,000 people watching, obviously in the chat as well. There's lots. Hit the like and hit the subscribe, and they were saying, what about Shopify? And I was like, oh my gosh, like Shopify was just $50, and now it's $70. So it went up basically that 40%. Went up $20 on 50. Again, from that bottom, and we talked about this yesterday with Brian and Neil and you and everybody, and it's just like, it's hard to look at stocks that were down here and say like, wow, we're up 40% from that move, but that is what we are up. At some point, it's going to get a little exhausted, but Shopify, we like that stock. We've always liked that stock. So there's the bid there on Shopify coming through. We definitely like some of the support down there, and not only that, it ran right into this, which was crazy. Great buying opportunity, and there's the break on the 200 period. So I was looking at this from yesterday, the Shopify trade. So it came in today, and when this happened, I was like, I got to go over it. We did find this name, so I'm pretty proud to have found it and traded it, what appears to be pretty decently. Oh, did we get that Nvidia? Oh, yes, we did. My bad. We got that Nvidia. We're now out of Nvidia. I didn't realize we got it, and I want to get it again. So there it is. We are now out of Nvidia. Man, that was exhilarating. Obi, we are able to put money back in our pocket on that trade and end the trade now on Nvidia as it just hovers around the 50-period moving average. So we actually got those 90s, and then we just got a 75 as I wasn't paying close enough attention, wondering if we had got that or not. I feel like the next trade to go is a 200 break downside on Tesla, but the one break, my whole day is Palantir. If we don't have that initial break on Palantir, then no Palantir, no cry. But we did cry, and we did get hit on Palantir. So that was the move up there, right there early. Sorry, as we just get a 76 fill. Right there on that break, that sucked for us. We did hit it with shares, and when it dropped down, we had to get out. And it's basically that 30-cent hit right there winds up sort of being where it is. So probably over-subscribed to the long there, but we did like the play. And normally we don't want to say like our whole day is based on one stock, but the thing is we've been fighting everything else. Like Apple was smooth, man. Without Apple, our day would have been horrendous and I would have been much more nervous. But thankfully, we're taking profit here, as the market was coming in, we were able to do this on Apple. So that saved us a little bit. The Shopify trade is now $1 in the money on Shopify. So that was a savior there for us as well. Nike, we took a shot on it. That didn't work on that on possible activist movement. So that was a hit, but not that bad. And then being able to revert out of Tesla and get that short, that was another save there. So very good trading today for sure. Was not expecting this much of a pull up in Palantir, but there it is, man. Wait for the dip buys. I feel like we did much, much better after we've seen levels. So Palantir falls right back into that level, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, so we came right back into 92. So got out of that one.
Oh, we did again?
Yeah, so I got out of that one. Couldn't really hold that half very well. Pushed right back into 92. So I'm like, all right, cool. Clearly, just not on the right side of this trade today. Kind of fighting the trend to the downside. It is reversing, I guess, aggressively back down into this 92s level. Again, this is a bit of a level from yesterday. We did take a bit of a bounce. We got up to 70s, 92, 80s, and we come right back into 92s. But again, take a look at the futures there. We might spend some more time in and around this 92 area before we make a decision either to go further lower or bounce back up. Again, this ticker getting bid up yesterday on the news
Nvidia,
that they have a new CEO from Chipotle, and then Chipotle as well also kind of selling off on the day today. So continuation of that selling. What's going on?
I kind of mean to interrupt.
What's up?
What the hell's going on with Nvidia right now? I just got out of it. We only had 10% left. Neither do I, but Nvidia just ripped up now it's at 117. We were just talking about this move.
Wow.
It's fine. It's not making that much of a difference, but it does suck.
That 116 break seems like that was interesting.
All right, money talks with the Derek.
Not seeing anything in Nvidia, but I will be taking a look here, guys. In terms of the US dollar, continuing on the downside, fourth straight red candle here on the daily chart, and its second significant red candle, also falling below that area I mentioned yesterday on this segment, that 102.70, which was some interesting support and resistance, now decisively broken below. We did get the CPI prints today, all of these coming in lower or in line with estimates, but most notably, we actually had a print below 3% on the year-over-year CPI for July, 2.9% versus estimates of 3% in the prior print of 3%. CPI month over month came in at 0.2%. We got a core CPI year over year, 3.2%, and core CPI month over month, 0.2%. All of those prints in line with estimates. Not any more economic data to keep an eye on today, though we do have St. Louis Fed President Fed's Musalem speaking late this evening around 11:10 p.m. Eastern time. He'll also be speaking tomorrow morning. But worth noting as well, yesterday we got some comments from Fed's Bostic that the market initially reacted pretty intensely to, saying that there is some recent inflation data giving confidence that we can return to 2%, but they're waiting for more data, and also saying that the Fed is concerned about cutting rates too early and then having to raise them again with the current inflation levels, quote, not being sustainable. So keep an eye on some of this Fed speak. Tomorrow morning, we also get things like retail sales, core retail sales, and some Philly and New York Fed manufacturing. So stay tuned for tomorrow, guys.
All right, so thank you, Adara. We just shorted Nvidia, so we'll go another short. I don't know. We'll find out if that's going to work or not. It's not going to be a dollar winner to the upside. It just ripped up a dollar. But there's the short. We just shorted 93s right there, and we got some out at 70. So that was 20, 25 pennies. Now we're in the money, 50 pennies, 40 pennies, as we make the move back in here. So yeah, very interesting stuff here, Obi. As this name now, yes. I mean,
what a bid, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we just shorted it right there against the 200 period. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. You never want to count me out or count the stock out, or, you know, try to stick with what's going on. As soon as we didn't hear that there was no news on that one, I was like, why is Nvidia kind of going ham right now? I am going to, though, take this out. There we go. We'll just take it out. End of the trade. I'll take 50 cents.
Oh.
There you go. Now I don't feel so bad. Now we don't actually. Now it doesn't wind up like we miss anything. Right there. Good out there. We'll take 116.50 back away from it and try to figure out what's going on with Nvidia. Nice move up. Nice move back down. So there we go, man. Now we're even higher than we were before. So yeah, good day, man. Palantir's starting to go. We only have 10% left of Tesla, so everybody telling me that it's curling. I understand that. We don't have much left. I want to see what happens at 202. But we're really on cloud 9 right now because we just made some nice money back there on Nvidia on that reshort for that. Shopify still $1. Palantir's, this is going to be a good one for me as well. As we're bouncing in and around these levels, Let's see if we can get an 85 and then a little bit higher than that. Nike still doing nothing. Apple climbing. Good trade there on Apple. That was the big one for the day coming through. So far, so good here as we just continue down this same road every day. Battling back, it seems like, is our MO recently. But we started off really hot. The last couple of days were really big days. And
how was Monday, Tuesday?
Great, the best. Yeah, the best. Solid days back there. I wasn't sure, like I was saying, coming back off of some trips, but was a good one there. So Palantir there, nicely done. We get that 85. And wow, what an out for us on Nvidia, by the way. Right back to 117 again.
Yeah, take a look at this market, man. Market's ripping back through that 19th out. We were talking about that wick action there on that prior 15-minute, pulling back into that 19th out, and we're getting that strong continuation there off of this 15-minute candle again, with only 5 minutes left to print on that one there. But yeah, no real bid catching here on Starbucks in and around this 92 as of right now, trading 91.70. So yeah, might be trying to fight a lost cause here for a potential pullback in with the market this strong and no real bid kind of catching on this ticker, kind of looking distinctly different from the action that we saw on top of that 92 earlier when the market was selling off and we were holding a little bit of a bid. Here comes 92 once again on the Starbucks. So maybe we got to be a little bit more patient with this one, Sean. As the 92 still, we trade about a quarter below, can't really get too far below a quarter, and then rips right back up a quarter past 92. So a little bit of a chop and churn happening as the markets rip to the upside there, printing much higher than the previous two 15-minute candles there. So VWAP is what I'm watching there as well. Nvidia trading above VWAP. Nvidia's VWAP I have at 116.32. And then VWAP on, wow, Starbucks trading 40 pennies past that 92 now. So I guess that was absolutely, that was absolutely, I got to have way more, man. Holy.
Yeah, that's always the problem, my guy. It's always about never having the right amount of shares and holding too long and holding not long enough. I hate trading. No, sure. I already said that thing about how much we love it. But okay, we'll start a little short here as we just mentioned VWAP there. The Qs are at VWAP. We're going to short the market right now, and just to give it a shot now. That's a great retracement. I'm guessing Adair gave us some news there about some Fed speak and whatnot.
What is going on?
There is some huge moves back up now. What a great move for Nvidia, 17 and change. What a great move for Shopify, now $1 in the money. Apple now back to $2 in the money as that's starting to go. Palantir now 50 cents in the money. You know, Canada, baby. Maybe Palantir, we need to get some, we need to get some Palantir contracts, the Canadian government, you know what I mean? Yeah. There it goes right now. Palantir, loving everything about it as that goes back up to the upside. Here's the TQs, man. Short engaged until we break the 200 period. 50s. Boy. Short engaged till 50s market. So let's see now if we want to retrace back down a little bit. We're just flat on the day. I could see it. We talked about trying to fight the trend here on the CPI, which I thought came in. I can see numbers. Does come in lower. Thought the trend would have been hot. Thought the trend would have been higher right now. Come on, man. Just pull back just a little bit. We can get something in the O's here for this pullback on the TQs. I'm just like self-trained to take 10 cents all the time. I don't really know why. But here it comes back in. We'll see if we can get this. I instantly bid 07s there. And then I had to go over here. I was like, why would I do that? But that's 10 cents in. We'll see if we can get that. Then back into here, I think 62.90 could be a fill level there for the Qs. And again, if we can get a pullback, there it is. If we can get a pullback from VWAP back into the 50-period moving average, that could close the trade. So that could be something definitely that I'm interested in right now on a TQQ pullback as Apple going upside right there, Nvidia continuing to march as well. Shopify $1. Let's put a Shopify stop in here if we break 70.80. So right into there. Let's change that up. And you can see me live. This is, look, we talk about trying to be not trying to be, we are. Did that go out? I just got to make sure. I have so many stop orders out. As transparent as possible. So that's going to be my out right there if that kicks in. And then TQs, out of 10% for 10 cents. So let's now go back, see if we can get a better position near 40s. That's going to be my next fill, 63.40 if it comes up to us on the TQQs.
Yeah, that was an aggressive push again across the board. there as, again, the futures rip right back up into some of these pre-market, not really pre-market, morning session levels there on the day. So let's see again. That strength came in quite aggressively on Starbucks back through that 92 as the market ripped right back up, and we're holding 92s as of right now. So again, a little bit of an interesting level here as we trend a little bit lower on the day there on Starbucks. But yeah, the reversion on Nvidia is where it's at as of right now. Nvidia as well as Amazon, Apple potentially pushing for high a day as well. Let's see if Softy can get back all the way there. 117s. We were talking about 114s on Nvidia, Sean, and we're printing 117s as of right now. So absolutely wild moves happening here in the market there. You said that was a little bit of a catalyst driven. We got a little bit of oil numbers as well. No idea, but that bid came in real hot off of that rebid through that 19th hour, man. So.
Yeah, we had a good feeling about Nvidia down there. That's why we wrote down 115. I mean, what a good call that was, but it doesn't really matter because we're fine on Nvidia, but we had to withhold that one. There it goes right up to the 200 period. As the futures continue to go, this reminds me about doing something. We forgot to do it yesterday, so let's do it today. What's for lunch on, I'm going to call this Recovery Wednesday, like the fact that we're able to recover a little bit here from how far we were down. It's a good one. All right. Actually, my wife made a little bit of this the other day. So we're excited about it, but we'll see for us. Well, I'll be you can grab Neil's salad if you want to.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. You already know that. All right. Here's the menu for today. Sirloin beef bolognese. I think that has a good chance. What, with buttered macaroni? Okay, are we getting, maybe it's a white sauce bolognese? I don't know, I'm more confused about that or this market here today, but it is 11 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for watching. As we continue to watch Nvidia take out new highs, not new highs, but sort of back up through the 200 period, 117.20 and going. We're getting ready to get more on this market as we're short the TQs as well right now. So we're short the market. Long Apple, $1 in on Shopify, 50 cents in on Palantir, and flat on our Tesla trade that I might just get out of as we did some damage back on that short. Any positions you're leaving us with? No.
No.
Obi, promise me.
Flat on Starbucks. Again, Starbucks looking weak. I have been fighting it a little too aggressively off of the open there, so I do have to reassess some of my actions and decision making right now. But again, had a bit of a break for the past couple of days. Got to get back into the motions here as of right now. But yeah, the market's ripping off of back towards that 19.1. So let's see if that can bring in any sort of thing. But Starbucks to the downside, no bid to be seen.
More bid to be seen. Yeah, Google also getting hit. All right, it's midday madness time. It is Sharif. It is Adara. Obi, promise you'll join me again at 2 o'clock?
Yes, sir, I will.
All right, it's Obi and I coming back at 2. But for right now, it's Adara and Sharif. Ciao, everybody. Thanks for me and Fabian.
There's dancing up a storm. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. That is your girl Adara, and I am Sharif.